on the outside looking in, and I wanna be. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Ay, you rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street. Hey, we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
G, what's good?
I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.
Don't forget to share the information that you're going live. Also that what the topics are.
I'm on the outside looking in,
Give me a second.
and I wanna be back on the inside.
How did Xbox
I don't wanna
Fumble?
be left on the
How did
outside,
Xbox Fumbles Gamescom?
all alone. All alone.
What are the topics? Let me read.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside,
Yeah, which
all alone.
clearly significant a different approach now.
All alone.
We do.
Ay,
We,
rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the
no,
west
this
and the
was
east. I
always
got what
meant
you
to be
need, a dose of this
exclusive
vitamin G.
up until this
Rockin'
is
with beats,
coming upon
discussing
the
the heat in
higher
the
up.
streets. Take over the west
This
and
is
the
not
east. I
Phil
got what you
Spencer
need, a dose of this
himself.
vitamin G. You rockin' with beats,
Yeah.
discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing
We
the heat in
didn't
the
know
streets.
about Indiana coming, so we will see.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
We're gonna see.
Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. know how I'm coming, man. Tryna run the town. Tell 'em no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could it be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see this start crumbling now. Mad struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for clout. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock glitz, know they look how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the game, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 251 of the Vitamin Podcast. I am your host, Pharaoh, and with me today, I have Nappy Senshi, who's been out for a good amount of time. I have Jubei, and I have Omar. So let's go ahead and jump into these intros, man. Not Omar. Nappy, been a while. How you been? What you been playing? I see you let the hair grow a little bit. In a couple weeks, got a little fro going, curly fro.
Yeah, everyone's been talking. I'm debating if I should keep it or should I cut it or should I keep growing it.
It looks good. Just shape it up, put a little taper on the side. You good to go.
Okay. Yeah, I've been thinking about it because people were like, "Oh, you got a good grain of hair," and I was like, "Damn, my dad did get bald around his 40s, so and I'm 31."
Bald.
Well, he started balding in his 40s, and he just
sorry.
cut it all off. And I'm like, I'm 31, so should I just enjoy my hair?
Yeah, you should enjoy it because that forehead getting larger every year. I can already see.
Listen, B. I'm going gray. I'm going gray mad early. I don't got to worry about balding. That's crazy.
But it's starting in the middle.
Jubei.
Know when to let it go.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's starting in the middle, but
all right, I'm gonna let y'all do these intros. I gotta do one thing for my kids real quick, so go ahead and swing around after you're done to the other two.
Okay, yeah, let me get this intro. So how's it going, everyone? Next Shay. I have been a little bit busy lately with family and stuff, so taking care of everything.
Go upstairs, please.
As far as gaming wise, I had played the Mecha Break demo, which was pretty interesting. Okay, hey, what did he just stick his tongue out in preface? But anyway, so besides the Mecha Break, I have been, of course, been playing Wukong. I actually love the game; it is great. But I'm pretty sure that's one of the top topics that we already had talked about. So not going to go deep in that. Also, I started getting a little bit into Persona 5 Strikers. My girl is upset with me because instead of playing Persona 5, I just went to watch the anime to get the story. So I understand what I'm getting into when I'm playing Persona 5 Strikers, and she is a little upset with me because I need to experience the video game version and not cop out by watching the show. Also, another show I've been getting into Near Automata too. The story's starting to get interesting. They're starting to pick up. They deviate from the games, but it also gives you some more context into some of the characters and the ways that you couldn't get in the video game. So you get to see other perspectives, which I think is really cool. And besides Mega Break, also I did play Splitgates 2's on closed beta. That game is really good. It's really like if you just done a classic like team deathmatch for portals, and now they added class to it, which I thought was going to ruin the game, but it didn't really ruin the game that much. So I'm happy for that. But yeah, other than that, just been gaming, been traveling around, enjoying myself, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Uh, who's next for the intros? Let's go with let's go with Captain PlayStation. Yeah. Fair.
What up?
Yeah, what's up?
I mean, I'm the only PlayStation guy here, so there is that. Kofi is not here yet.
Yeah, no, Kofi
Um,
wasn't here.
Yeah. What have I been playing? So, Inazuma 11, ever heard of it?
What?
Inazuma 11.
And Samurai 11. I never heard of that actually.
Inazuma.
Inanjuma?
Yeah.
Inanjuma 11. No, I have not.
Okay, so basically it's a football franchise. Think Captain Tsubasa and such. But this one is
Interesting.
with actual superpowers. It goes way back. This is actually being developed by Level 5. Surprisingly, the demo that I played on PlayStation was also surprisingly good. It was fun. It's a different new protagonist, never been from the anime nor manga, so far I know. The story is actually very interesting because where he is from, football is actually banned. Yet they're trying to create a football team for the USA cast soccer team.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, and it's a demo so far. Main game is yet to come out. I genuinely enjoyed it. What makes it so interesting because it plays two ways. You have the first way, which is a turn-based rock paper scissor mechanic, actual rock paper scissor mechanic, which is wild to me that rock paper scissors can be so fun and entertaining. And the second phase, which is the soccer aspect, football aspect, and that's possible mostly because the team was way overpowered. Um, I also started Dragon Age Inquisition. I never played Dragon Age Inquisition, and I'm getting ready for Vanguard. Um, I don't know how you guys survived with Inquisition. Um, Two issues I have with the game. For the rest, I'm loving it. The first one is the lack of a storage unit. Yeah, I know. At some point in the game, you get your own area, and then you get a storage unit. But you need to actually sit through um quite a long before you get your own storage unit. And it wouldn't have been an issue if not for you you get full very quick. And you have four party members, so you need to make space very quick. And another issue, and I'm not sure if you guys ever experienced it, enemies sometimes just simply don't drop any loot. I'm like, I'm fighting a bear. I killed the bear. Didn't drop a single loot. I'm like, I am really hoping they fix that shit with Vanguard. Because right now, it's not entertaining. Because you feel like you're wasting your time. I am okay with a random drop or just a basic drop, at least any drop, but no drop, that sucks. But yeah, that's about it for me. Oh, and one more thing, I signed up for Super Roboy. It's a Metrovania being developed right now, and I'm excited to see I'm gonna be a playtester or not. It's if I become a playtester, I will let you guys know. Yeah, I'm super excited about it because Metrovania is in my wheelhouse, and to test Metrovania out of all people, like that would be so cool. But we will see where that's gonna end up.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, so it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like I only missed
All
one
right.
person. Um,
Yep. I think the next is what's going to be Jubei. So Omar went first, and now it's going to be Jubei and then Kofi.
all right, Jube, how you been? What you been playing, man?
Hey yo, how's everybody doing? I haven't been too bad. It was a kind of a family-filled weekend. My sister came into town, so I haven't really been playing much. Um, yeah, just couldn't get away from the family. But I did start Suicide Squad. It's cool. Um, I'll have more on that probably after a week. Um, but yeah, nothing too crazy, and like I said, just a little bit too busy this weekend gaming wise this past week. So pretty simple.
Kofi, how you been? What you been playing?
What up, guys? Yeah, a lot like Juve. This last weekend was a lot about family. Got to spend time with them at the beach. So gaming was definitely much more limited. But I did get to play last week before leaving for vacation, and I enjoyed. Still, it's a lot of Stellar Blade and a lot of Remnant too. Um, I'm really excited about the DLC. We're probably within 3 weeks of its release, so just kind of going through that, picking up some things I've never done in the game despite all the hours. Just got the Tranquil Heart, which is a cool relic that heals you without doing anything. And I could have gotten it for many hours, but I had to give up something I was unwilling to give up. But just recently, I teamed up with some people who helped me go through the somewhat annoying process of getting the Tormented Heart twice, or a Tormented Heart again, so that I could trade in one of my favorite items to get this other rare one. So that's been good. Still the blade, always nice things to say about that. And my import is still in the mail. I mean, this is the longest and the most difficult process I've gone through in order to get my Renatus import. It's kind of crazy. So once that arrives, I'll be able to play some of that. And then, of course, at the end of this month, it is Trails time. Once again, after it's been about 18 months since I've played a Trails game, so I've been really, kind of clear, and my palate is fresh, and I'm definitely very excited. So, yeah, man, it's going to be good times in these next 6 weeks.
All right then. Well, that's cool to get to hear. All right then, and that's it. That's it. What about you, Pharaoh? Everyone has spoken, but you.
Nothing much. My kid's happy being a track star right now, running up and down these steps, getting them ready for bed. Trying to get them back into their school routine before, school starts next week for them. So
School started today for a lot of people in my district. It
yeah,
was,
Yeah,
well
today.
they go to private school, so they start next week. Excuse me, but other than that, a lot of Madden. Pretty close to the top 100 ranked players. I've been doing a lot of that, and a couple other games here and there, but really just Madden for the most part. That's pretty much been me. As far as the game goes, I do like the game. They've made steady improvements the past like 3 years, but they got some glitches and stuff to fix. So I'm waiting for this next title update. For you to be able to do like the custom jersey combos and custom playbooks, and for them to fix this damn route stem glitch, and what's the other one? This quarter overload blitz, because I run the Ravens playbook and it has quarter overload. I think it's the only defensive playbook in the game that has quarter overload, but they have like an automatic offsides thing. So that's been driving me crazy. But other than that, yeah, it's been cool. Yeah. So with that being said, just want to thank everyone who's contributing to the chat. Yobi, Taozochi, and yeah, thank you guys for coming through, being here early. Oh yeah, I would have to re-download Monster Hunter World. I played it for just a little bit, but because I didn't have any buddies to play it with, I fell off of it pretty quick. I would love to jump into it a little bit before Wilds comes out, because I do want to play Wilds, and Kofi and everyone committed to allowing me into their group, their sacred little PlayStation group that I wasn't a part of because I was stubborn and wanted to play on Xbox. So, and I don't think Jubei had Monster Hunter Worlds. If he did, we never linked up.
I do have it.
Oh, we just never linked up then.
Wait, is Monster Hunter World cross-platform?
It's not.
Ooh, damn.
It's not even cross-platform between like PC and Xbox.
Well, I mean, that was like 2016, so
yeah. But oh, no, don't do that. Regular grid. Fix it. But yeah, that's pretty much where I've been at. He got it on every console. He's a real Monster Hunter fan. You might be more
console.
You might be more of a Monster Hunter fan than Kofi, and Kofi's been diehard Monster Hunter like since like the very first one.
You got Monster Hunter World on every. I mean, don't be wrong. There's a lot of content. Wait, there is a lot of content to do. God damn.
There is, and being that I don't even think it has
DLC
cross.
Was big.
It doesn't have cross progression. Yeah, what was it? Iceborne DLC.
Yeah, that's what DLC is.
Was there any DLCs after that? Or was it just
added content during that DLC, but there was nothing official like
that's what I'm saying.
Like that.
Yeah, that was the only big DLC.
You know what's crazy? That Monster Hunter World was considered a live service game because they had like updates where they had Final Fantasy 14 crossover, they had a Geralt crossover.
That's the best kind. That's the best kind of service game, the kind you pay for up front.
Yeah, it's still crazy to me that people don't realize that that's a live service game until they get to the live service content. They're like, oh shit, this is a live service game.
Yeah, it is a live service game. That's why I can't like. And Kofi's right. The ones that you pay for up front, like for me, I pay for Madden up front. I'm good to go. I don't do the Ultimate Team where I gotta pay for packs if I want to be competitive. I mean, you can grind, but it's a super grind if you want to be competitive. And then but like that's why I dropped out of 2K. 2K was pricey just to play by yourself. I didn't even like the part. I just wanted to do like my career. And my career was horrible. Absolutely. It got after like what 2K17, it got horrible. You had to pay like $100 just to be able to like cross somebody up with your my player in career mode. It was trash. But yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was horrible. I don't know if anyone else in this chat has had that type of pain when it comes to that.
I played 2K since 13, so
I think the last one I got had either Kobe or Braun on the Lakers Braun, either Lakers Braun or Kobe as the cover athlete. That was the last one I got, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. And then it came to Game Pass a couple years ago for the first time. I downloaded it, and I paid $20 for a VC pack, and my guy was still like absolute garbage. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Like he was like absolute garbage. Like, bro, he couldn't like hit a mid-range shot with the thing being green if someone was in his face. He was like ass. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And I've never played 2K since because I just like I literally like I enjoyed the My Player. That's the only reason I played it. It was such an amazing mode, and now it's not because it just funnels you into My Part. So it's horrible now. But yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into what's on your mind. And I am going to ask Nappy specifically because he waited a long time for this. And I want to know what's on his mind regarding Final Fantasy 16 coming to PC in a couple weeks.
I'm Am I excited? Because we also got God of War Ragnarok coming to PC really soon.
When
So
is
I might as well buy
when
it.
is God of War Ragnarok is in October, right?
I thought it was like since September. Like I know it's really close by because Steam keeps on popping it up saying God of
Yeah,
War
they
Ragnarok
do.
coming to PC.
Yeah. I thought it was
And
October.
now it's soon. It's definitely sooner than October. It's like
Okay.
probably somewhere in
No, he
September.
might be. Well, it might be September.
I was kind of thinking October. Well, I mean, I don't know the date, but I was thinking October-ish
can-
because that's kind of like
God
when
of War
that's like when
Ragnarok
the holiday season. That's
Oh,
like
you're getting a great
that's
game and a
September
terrible game.
19th.
September 19th.
Yes, September 19th.
Yeah, so it's basically going right into the holiday season, basically.
So I get God of War Ragnarok.
And
Final Fantasy 16.
unlike PlayStation, you can gift games on Steam, correct?
Yes, you can gift it to
Is
other
PlayStation the only
users.
platform where you can't gift games? Can you gift games on the Switch?
It is.
It's horrible.
It's because of their weird region relations. So there's games
It don't
available.
matter. Like you can regionally gift. It's stupid.
I
Not with
don't.
them,
Yeah,
you
I
can't.
don't want to defend them. To your point, I don't want to defend them for sure. It's just
You should be
they've
able
got
to.
these weird. I don't know. Like if you spend money on one store, it's a different equivalency because of the, like I don't know currency. It's
an
a lot.
excuse. Gifting should be a thing. Like, really should. Yeah. Oh, whatever. I digress. Go. Continue, Nappy.
But I'm like I'm like okay, yeah, I'll get to the game when I get to it because Wukong came out and I can already see this game taking up all my time. So
did you get Wukong yet?
I'm already playing it. Actually, as a matter of fact, I can show you gameplay if we bring up the topic.
Okay. Well, I think that's our final topic for today, so we'll definitely get to it. You can throw the gameplay up then.
Because I was doing one of the controller reviews, and I got gameplay of just the first part, so it's not like a crazy spoiler or anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Did you get the Goku mod?
No, we're not even going to talk about the mods, and also China. It's I saw a lot of crazy mods. I saw the Teletubby mob. I saw the Goku mod. I saw there was some other stuff. There was a weird big titty monkey mod, which had Wukong as a big titty hairy monkey, which was interesting. That guy took it down.
You can always count on Nappy to give you the NSFW mods.
Yeah, it like that mod got taken down. And also, like the Chinese developers already are well, they don't really want you to mod the game as much, but they are happy that everyone's playing their game.
Okay. Nappy will have the Discord links to where you can find all the China banned mods. Pretty soon.
Oh god, we're not all going to see people walking around with the big hairy titty monkey mod.
It's a single player experience. No one cares.
People are doing that to be funny.
You don't even know half of it.
Oh boy, I don't want to know.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, you're feeling good about God of War and Final Fantasy 16 coming out. Did you try the demo out for 16 yet?
I didn't even try the demo yet because I did the closed beta test for I did what was it? Splitgate 2. That was the other game I did a closed beta test for. So
okay, you're NDA'd on that.
What you say? They didn't say no. They did say it was an NDA. Actually, they said just that you can't stream it, unfortunately. So that sucked.
You feeling good about the game?
The game actually it performed very well though. It really did. It's more like Splitgate with added features, which is you couldn't ask for anything else. It was really good.
I got Discord notifications are. I don't. Oh, you know what it is? I'm sorry. I fixed it. All right, so I have two different audio outputs, so I forgot I didn't mute my PC.
Oh, also I did do Concord's closed beta thing too, which was nah.
Oh, you talking about Concord's beta? That ended weeks ago. You said Concord?
Yeah, it was like Concord. That was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a month ago. The game's out.
Yeah,
now.
The game fully out. I remember I did the Concord beta and I was like, man.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to that topic. That is one of our top topics for today. But yeah, anything else that anybody has on their mind gaming related that is not part of our 3 topics for today, which include Concord, Gamescom, and Black Myth. Anyone have any gaming related topics they want to touch on?
I mean, yeah, I can talk. We're getting a new Nintendo show. Apparently,
Oh yeah,
future. They're trying to push them out before, revealing the two.
yeah. I mean,
Switch 2.
you. I mean, they have to market their holiday. What their holiday lineup. I mean, even it's not. I don't think it's a push to push content out before the Switch 2 per se. I think it's just regularly scheduled marketing because we're going into the holiday season.
But two shows? One show,
You still hear the
understandable.
Discord? I don't.
But apparently it's 2 shows, not just 1 show.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Also, apparently there's a Nintendo
Ow.
Direct coming up pretty soon as well. That's another thing.
See. Where would I go to mute my Discord notification? I've never had this be an issue. Notifications.
Did you join any new Discord lately? Or
No, I haven't.
I think there's a setting for you to mute all your Discord channels.
Yeah, there are. I disabled all notification sounds. So I don't.
Yeah. It's in settings, notifications, enable desktop notification, enable taskbar. Yeah, so you can mute all of it.
I did disable all notification sound, and I did it again. So all right, hopefully that fixes it. Yeah, but let's see. Let's
But
get.
yeah, so we are getting a new show. Not a new show, a new a new Nintendo show, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna show.
Over here.
I'm excited to see if they're going to actually show off the new Nintendo product console, whatever, that has a new NVIDIA chip in it. Because I already know they in the United States, Nintendo America have already submitted the patents for their new device, so people have took a look at it. It doesn't really show you much. It shows you that it has almost 3 cartridge holders, which is very interesting. Which means a lot of people are spectating that it can support the original Nintendo Switch games along with the whatever this new cartridge is going to be. So it's people are looking forward to it.
Maybe they're saying that the sound is coming from you guys. I don't know, but I just disabled all the sounds again. So maybe someone else is getting giving off Discord notification sounds. I don't know, but it's not me.
I can't hear mine.
I don't have any. I just checked all my channels. All my stuff is muted.
All right, just everyone just do a quick check, but I did everything I could on my end but yeah, just quick check. Hopefully we kill it. But yeah, so where were we? I think
talking about Nintendo.
Yeah,
we're talking about the Nintendo showcase, what we want to see, because nobody else is buying a Nintendo Switch. Everyone and their mother got Nintendo Switches, and the people who don't got Nintendo are going to emulate it.
People are always going to buy Nintendo Switches because they are cheap and they break. And they have drift and things like that. And if you got a Switch Lite and you got drift, you got to get a new Nintendo Switch,
Bro, you're better off going to Facebook and just buy the Nintendo Switch without the Joy-Cons for $100.
People are going to buy new Switches. That's just what they're going to do. People like different colors. People always going. It's such a cheap item that people don't mind spending. What is it like? It's like you can get one for like $250 now, right? Or less than that.
They're like I think the original one's $300. The OLED's $350. But I've seen so many sales now to the point where I'm just like, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think you get the Switch Lite for $200.
The Switch Lite, the Switch Lite is about $200 or $250 or one of those two.
It's like an Amazon tablet. Man, people,
I mean, yeah, but like I said, everyone who wanted a Switch got a Switch at this point, so it's time for. And I don't even think Nintendo needs to come up with a more powerful console because they are actually good at making their games fun. not powerful, but it would be nice to get a slightly stronger chip so they could do a little bit more with their games.
Like, for instance, Kofi owned a good Switch in working order. Absolutely nothing was wrong with it. They released a new Switch Lite in a color that he loved. And he just got the itch to buy it. Because it's so cheap. That's just what people do. It's like buying a controller. It's like buying a controller. It's like buying a controller. No, I'm not saying that $200 is cheap. I'm saying that the Switch is so cheap relative to other devices that people are willing to spend their discretionary income on little things like different color Switch lights that they don't actually need.
Was that true, Kofi? You just bought one because you like the color?
He contemplated it. I don't know if he bought it, but he was definitely contemplating it. I don't know if he's muted, but yeah.
So am I the only person here that don't have a Switch?
No, I don't have a. Well, I technically do not have a Switch. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I was literally just playing Astro Chain yesterday.
Yeah. Nintendo, you know where to show up. How is it still going on? Like, I have mine 100% muted. I don't know. I have my Discord notifications like 100% muted. I checked. I had notifications pop up. I disabled those.
All right,
I've checked everything.
Let me check mine. Or is it me?
Nope. I disabled desktop notifications, and now I have disabled all notification sound. So, how good?
Let me go to where's the notifications?
And I'm gonna put a. Can't do that. All right. So hopefully, my next technique has fixed it. I don't. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know why, because I've disabled everything.
No, I've literally disabled everything now.
Okay. Hopefully that fixes it.
If it's me, then we'll see. But it shouldn't be me because you shouldn't be able to hear my Discord stuff.
Yeah. Well.
Is it me? But I don't hear anything.
Okay. Well, you can. I mean, you could check. It doesn't hurt to check. But I don't know what to do. If it is.
Yeah, I just literally muted everything, so I don't know.
It is me. I don't know. I just
heard it again 5 times. Just 5 times. What the hell?
I mean, I'm part of a lot of different servers, but I mean, if I need to create a different Discord account just for this show, I will.
Yeah, I just disabled everything on my end. So like there is no sound whatsoever.
I've never had this issue before, so I mean, I don't.
I mean, Yobi, you sure you don't got your own like Discord up and running in the background?
Oh, he's good. Okay, apparently it got fixed. So
he was listening to my show and he never had an issue. So no, I don't think it's on his end.
Okay, no, we're good. We're good now. So appreciate you, Yobi. I don't know exactly what the issue is, but we have fixed it, which is the most important thing.
Cool.
But yeah, so Nintendo show, we talked about that. Does anybody else have anything else gaming related on their mind before we jump into our topics for today? Going once, going twice. All right, with that said, let's jump into our first topic of the day. But before we do, I just want to encourage everyone to like, subscribe, and share this thing out. I appreciate you guys being here, whether it's live or you catch us later. Your viewership is greatly appreciated. But without further ado, we are going to jump into our first topic of the day, and let me center this a little bit better.
Kofi dropped on the wayside silently drop to the wayside.
He will come back, I'm sure. But yeah. But as far as our first topic goes, we saw Jeff Keighley's I think it's ONL show. I think that stands for On Live. I don't know, but we saw that show and it was pretty boring. Very long. I think it was about what, had like a 2.5 hour runtime.
Two, not 2.5, two.
About like 2.5. And I don't think all the games that they showed were bad. I think they showed quite a few good games. It was just the structure, the pacing, the in between talking between trailers. It just really dragged it out. And then it got real interesting at the end. And it had something that sparked a lot of controversy within the I guess the Twitter community. I won't say the gaming community. I'll say the Twitter community and the media, because we're just this small echo chamber, it feels like. But excuse me. Jeff Keighley had a one more thing when they showed Indiana Jones, and that one more thing was that PlayStation will be receiving Indiana Jones sometime in the spring of 2025. And that sent shockwaves throughout the media, through Twitter, through my Facebook groups. And it's been an interesting week. Since then, Phil Spencer followed up, and he had some very interesting points that he made about, basically kind of insinuating that the bill is due at Microsoft after spending all of their money on these acquisitions, and that he has to kind of move differently as a result of those transactions. And I think part of that that we saw was the case with Indiana Jones. So I'm gonna let my panel dive into this. They'll be able to talk about not only the Xbox, but anything else that caught their mind at Gamescom, because Gamescom is not purely an Xbox event. They can talk about other things. We did see Genshin Impact coming to Xbox. I guess we'll let Captain Xbox kind of lean onto that topic a little bit, since that's something that he might or may not care about. But yeah, you know what? I am gonna start off with Jubei. Jubei, I know I say that Xbox fumbled Gamescom, but do you feel that Xbox fumbled Gamescom? At least from the showcase perspective.
Kinda.
Because I know we talked about this before the show. I know, like, literally last week, I was like, Xbox is going to do this show at Gamescom. Are they going to step on a rake? And, it's kind of lukewarm on that one, and it seems like they did.
Yeah, they stepped on a rake. Is it the worst rake to step on? Maybe not. But yes, they stepped on a rake. They could have literally announced that shit was coming elsewhere, somewhere else.
Yeah. It didn't have to overshadow the Xbox announcement.
Correct. And it did. It absolutely did.
Oh no, it absolutely should have. You know why? Because that's where the money lies. Phil Spencer literally said it himself.
How can we say that that's where the money lies when most of these games aren't capturing the bulk of their sales on PlayStation?
Because why else would they put it on PlayStation if not for sale?
Because every sale counts. But I mean,
So
look at your own
games.
games. Look at Stellar Blade. That's not selling great. Look at Final Fantasy 16. That didn't sell great. Look at Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Like, none of these games on PlayStation that are exclusive to that platform are selling gangbusters. So we can't say that that's where the money is.
Stellar Blade sold great.
No,
What
it
are you
didn't.
talking-
It didn't sell
Oh.
great. It sold okay. It didn't sell great. It's not It's not passing 5 million units. It sold about 1 million copies. Sea of Thieves sold 1 million copies. We're not selling. We're not saying we're
for a new IP.
Yeah, but look at Black Myth Wukong, 10 million in a couple days. Like, you gotta compare it to the field. Look at Power World. Power World released brand new IP this year, sold over 10 million copies. I'm not saying that the game is a failure or it flopped, but we can't say that, oh, this is where the money is, when there's other new IPs that sold way more when they were on other platforms, and we got new IPs like Rise of Ronin, and we got Stellar Blade, 2 brand new IPs that were PlayStation, and they didn't sell nearly as well as other brand new IPs that dropped this year that were either multi-plat or exclusive to a different platform than PlayStation.
So Stellar Blade sold over 1 million copies.
Yes, that is good.
In the first 2 months. And
yeah, that's not great.
That's not success.
I'm saying it didn't
Compared
sell
to
great.
10 million in 3 days for an absolutely brand new IP from a nobody studio.
That's not. My point is that it's not great. You can't say that's where the money is. Like, games are just like, these new IPs are launching on PlayStation and selling great on PlayStation. Like, that's not the case. Like, it's just not. Like, we haven't seen a lot of new IPs in recent years just flourish on because of the PlayStation itself, is the point that I'm making.
Dude, why would they go out of their way to port it to PlayStation? And
because
mind you,
every sale matters. Like, literally every sale matters.
No. That's going far beyond out of your way for that. Not only did they do
No, it's not.
Not only did they do its own graphic and then showcasing that hitting PlayStation 5, they actually did a small interview with, I'm not sure which one it is, but talking about it launching on PlayStation 5.
Well, that's the whole point of being at Gamescom, is to have these interviews. So yes, they're going to talk. Yes, they're going to talk about it there. Why wouldn't they talk about all their games at Gamescom that were coming out?
Because this could have easily been a tweet if they wanted to.
Oh yeah, they fumbled. We all agree that we all agree that they fumbled.
Well, yeah, they fumbled, but there's nuance to this. Like,
there is absolutely no nuance to this.
There is. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Who owns the IP? The fucking mouse.
Disney.
The fucking mouse owns the IP, right?
So
if they said, hey, y'all can have it exclusive, y'all are only gonna get it exclusive for 3-4 months. Do you want to take that deal?
Do we know that the mouse said it or Satya? We don't know.
We don't know, but you're assuming that it's Satya. Again, they can only do what is within their contract to do.
Phil Spencer's own wording said it. He got bills to pay. Where do you think that bill is coming from?
Disney?
Fucking Disney for
the
licensing.
You got to pay Disney for licensing.
Shit is not cheap. That shit is not cheap at all. And Microsoft was like, well, we know we aren't going to recoup this in a timely fashion with how we do business. So,
they could. We don't know what the PC sales are going to look like, and we do know that Bethesda in general gets a lot of support from the PC community. I think most of their sales in general don't come from console; they come from PC on average.
Right. Now, if this thing comes out, it sells Game Busters on PC, whatever, Xbox, reviews well.
You're talking about Indiana Jones?
Release is just
we're talking about Xbox fumbling Gamescom in general. But they didn't. It wasn't just Indiana Jones that they fumbled. We can't just act like it's indie. They fumbled Towerborn too. How whoa, hold up.
Yeah.
No. How do you announce Towerborn September 10th and have it only be for Steam? Like, you don't have your own launcher.
They do.
On PC.
Xbox's preview program isn't as good as Steam's.
I'm not.
Let's
That
be
doesn't.
real.
That doesn't
But
matter.
they
You
gotta
had
go through more hoops for console compared
you
to
had
PC.
enough time to have it ready for your PC launcher. It should be available. It should be available for Game Pass PC people, and it should be available for Steam people who want to early access it. I'm just saying.
They also want this game to sell. They also don't. I don't think they own the people that are making this.
But they own the IP.
So
They own the IP.
they do own the IP, but they do not own the developer that's making it.
Yes. We've been cutting you off a lot, Jubei. So I'm gonna let you go. But
So we've been cutting you off a lot.
But with this whole Towerborn thing, I get the perception that the reason that it's in early access on Steam is because you have to pay for early access on Steam versus if it was early access on Steam and Xbox PC launcher, people would just be able to jump over to their PC Game Pass and play it that way. So whatever amount of PC Game Pass customers that are on PC, they want you to go over to Steam and pay for early access over there.
I mean, the other thing is they've also charged for early access games on Xbox. Vigor is one of those games. You paid for it. I know.
Vigor.
So they do have the option to charge on their own store. But they also know that their own store is limited because more people are going to use Steam. If they only had it in their own store, they would not have as many people coming to this game as compared to when you launch it on Steam.
I'm about to say, you just locked out all the people on Steam Deck too.
Exactly.
The Steam Deck actually is a big factor.
The people just won't play it just on principle, just because it's not on Steam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I don't give a fuck about this. Like, why am I forced to go to this crappy store that I don't even like, aka the Microsoft store, to play this versus Steam, where you have a lot more leeway in that. So I can understand their reasoning behind that. Their own store is not sufficient enough for what they're trying to do with this game. At least from a numbers perspective, to get people in and playing the game. And we've already seen, obviously, if PC don't fuck with it, they ain't gonna fuck with it. See Concord. You know what I mean? But this is at least their best chance to see that, because they also know that their store is the least used, if not one of the most least used on PC. Unfortunately, they just are.
Yeah,
so from a business perspective, it's like, why would we put this on our store that nobody really fucks with to give a bad impression on this game? When they're like, oh, only 3,000 fucking people that actually use the Microsoft store decided to try to early access this game. That's horrible optics. Now, if that shit happens on Steam, the game is just fucking bad. I mean, like, you know, that's just what it's going to be at that point. But I can't necessarily punish them for making that business move to put it on Steam, because that makes the most logical sense.
All right. And all right. So, yeah, I think the whole situation is crazy. I'm going to go.
It is.
I'm not going to say I don't understand. I just don't think it was the smart decision to announce it the way they announced it. One, because it took eyes off of its release date in December. That wasn't the story anymore. And two, beyond that, they kind of killed their own DLC. Because there's like some DLC that's launching with the game also that was talked about in a blog post after the announcement on the stage. So they could have
talking about for indie.
Yeah. So they could have had people buying that DLC for Indiana Jones immediately following the show on Steam and on Xbox. You know, because on Xbox they got the pay $30 extra to get the full game when it launches, even if you're on Game Pass or whatever. They could have started selling that that night, but only
it's on sale now for sure. But yeah,
but I'm saying only us who care about it that much would go deeper to look into this, like different articles that popped up after the show. So
I feel like if you like Indiana Jones, you're gonna be looking deeper in this, or you're gonna buy it anyway. It won't matter about DLC. You'll
you
see that.
are, but the thing is, you are in a region that you don't particularly sell well in to begin with, and you have all of their eyes and attention at that moment. And instead of getting their attention on, the DLC and the full package of the game or whatever, you shift it over to when it launches 3, 4, 5 months post its initial release.
Yeah, they could have said something later.
But they didn't. They didn't have an opportunity to say it later unless they said it because they had their own little.
In one of the interviews, because they had like 3 days of coverage.
Yeah, they had their own little. They had their own little shows on the. They weren't that big, but they had their own like 2 hour. They had like a 2 hour show every day on.
Yeah,
YouTube.
they had a quite few great games
Like
to showcase.
Yeah.
So why not talk about the DLC on your show? That's on them.
Well, I don't know. I didn't watch the other shows, so I can't say if
Me
they
neither.
did. I didn't say if they. I can't say if they did or didn't show those other games on their shows. I can't say for sure. But since Nappy, not since Nappy, since Omar interrupted, let's get Omar's thoughts before we start swinging it around to the other panel members on the whole Gamescom debacle.
So, before I talk about Indiana Jones, Borderlands 4 revealed.
Oh yeah, you are a big Borderlands person. Okay, yeah. Like I said, this is all Gamescom. So yeah, talk about everything.
Wait, right? All Gamescom, right?
Yeah, you can talk all Gamescom. Yeah,
Yeah.
The header is Xbox fumbling it, but yeah, talk about everything Gamescom related.
Oh, hold on, Omar. Before you go, so I just found the Gamescom trailer. They do put that shit at the end of that trailer. So I mean, anybody that's watched the fucking YouTube video would have saw it.
Okay.
So it's there.
All right.
Because they show the collector's edition also. They didn't even talk about the collector's edition.
That's what I'm saying.
When they were announcing this shit, but it's in the trailer. So you also have to think not everybody watches Gamescom. It's not as big as E3. So if you go to YouTube, if you watch this Gamescom trailer, it will show you that information.
It's big for Europe.
Okay, it might be big for Europe, but it's still publicly available. Just because they didn't show it on the show floor, which who else watched opening night live? Like, well, what are the numbers really looking like for that? But it's there, so it is in the trailer.
Many years ago, I feel like there would have been a random.
Come on, man. We'll get it.
Interview where they would have revealed other platforms for the game.
We gotta stay on. We gotta stay on schedule. Let's get to Omar.
Yeah, go ahead, Omar. I'm sorry.
We've been cutting people off. But yeah, Borderlands.
Yeah, so Borderlands revealed. Some people are asking, why would you ever reveal it, especially after the abysmal live action?
Oh, the movie?
The live action. Yeah, that was bad.
Live action is live action. Like, we are not gonna involve the two together. All I needed was one look at the live action and I knew that shit was trash. Same with Concord, but that's a different conversation. With Borderlands, however, 4, I do hope that they significantly learn from their fuck up with 3.
Okay.
3 story was abysmal.
Wait, which Borderlands game is good with this story?
Well, Borderlands 2 is the one that's beloved.
Borderlands 2 is like the god. Apparently, it's like the god tier of all Borderlands.
Borderlands 2. I'll
legendary.
Admit I never got into because Borderlands 1 to me was so like not.
Yeah, Borderlands 1 was lackluster. I get you.
Yeah.
But this is why 2 was so amazing. They fixed it with 2. They made Handsome Jack such an amazing, hateful villain. It's not even funny.
I mean,
But
I do have a question for you, Omar. I'm sorry you were going to finish, but what do you think that Borderlands series in general, like one and two, and the prequel is part of their own, like a game of that time, and Borderlands 3 is just a game of the current times?
what
Because
do you
some of
mean
the
by that?
like a lot of the comedian stuff and the jokes and stuff, like when Borderlands 2, I mean, that was funny when I was a kid. It's like, man, now that I'm an adult, it's like watching a Jackie Chan movie again.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I mean, Handsome Jack to me is a funny bastard. When he bought a diamond pony,
hmm
or like, but to be fair though, Borderlands in general have always this humor. Like, you know, the dude that ask you to shoot him in the face, and you shoot him in the
Yeah.
face,
hmm
or the one that jump and kills himself. Like, my issue with 3, one, they try to strictly focus on making
They were
villains
kind of they were
that,
focused on the villains that can relate to Gen Z. We are all millennials.
yeah, that was so atrocious.
I'm about to say, but we're all That's why I say, do you think it's a game of its time? Because you have millennials and you have Gen Zs. Millennials will love Borderlands 2. Gen Zs, they're just like meh.
Yeah,
But there's some Gen Z kids that love Borderlands 3. And I'm like, this is cringy, but to them it's not.
From gameplay standpoint, Borderlands 3 is the best Borderlands. From gameplay standpoint,
Right.
Okay.
from
Yeah.
from the guns to the skills. But from character standpoint, I love 2 over 3. From story standpoint, I was way more
Interesting.
invested with the characters of 2 over 3. And the best thing that Borderlands 1 and 2 did, they carried over their main cut from 1 into 2.
I don't know if the support is there. I don't know if the support's going to be there for Borderlands 4. How long was it been since Borderlands 3 came out?
Borderlands 3
6
has actually
years?
been out for a minute. Yeah, it's like 6 years. It was on PlayStation. It was on previous gen consoles.
Not only for a minute, it got DLC, but still.
I have not played DLC. After I go finish the story, I was like, yeah, I'm
Me
done.
neither. Me neither. Even though I got the fuck edition, mean
Yeah.
everything complete. For some reason I don't know. I felt so. Little spoiler for Borderlands 3. For
Yeah.
people that want to skip
2019.
it. When they killed off Maya, that was so terrible. They just did it for shock value.
Yeah, it feels like it has a
Uh,
strong community, but it's not like this huge community. But it's a strong.
not,
The community
not.
is huge. Like, especially on YouTube, it's the amount of people that do playthroughs, runs, showcase
See.
where certain guns are and stuff like that. Like now, Borderlands community is huge, but again, 3 did damage to this franchise and
Oh,
Tiny
I think
and
Jeez.
Tiny.
we might all be
Yeah.
wrong. It sold 18 million copies by the end of 2023.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it
it
sold a
sold
lot.
great.
It's so
Yeah.
great.
See,
That's
I
why
never bought a Borderlands game with the expectation that the story was going to be my highlight.
Yeah.
You played
No,
two?
like Remnant 2. I played this game for 500 hours. I don't give a crap about what they're talking
Okay,
about.
but the difference is with Remnant 2, you don't have a dude in your earpiece the entire time taunting you.
Mm.
I
and
mean, there is a
making
lot of talking, and it is annoying. It gets annoying. Like it depends. Like for 2, some people find 2 talking is annoying with Handsome Jack.
Oh, I love
For
Borderlands 2, especially Handsome Jack. Oh, but also Borderlands DLC for the most part are all on point. The Claptrap DLC, like, so maybe it's you, Nappy, want to to outgrowing the Borderlands humor.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
also,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's not. I'm not saying I don't like it, but that's what I've been hearing.
oh,
It's
Mm.
like when I had a
also
conversation with
remember,
people who play
um,
Borderlands 2, 1 through 3, and plus the prequel. It's like
the
they're games of their time. They're like the jokes were funny at the time, but they're not as funny and entertaining now.
well, so apparently they fired the dude that worked on 1 and 2 when it comes to the jokes and humor. I forgot what his name, but he is a famous dude from Hey, actually, what you're playing
Hmm.
with Ashley Birch. But here's the thing with Borderlands, and I'm gonna move on because this was not a Borderlands conversation. I am excited for they can go all the way with it. They can go multiverse with it. And people already speculating who is the the person on the picture. It's between Salvador or Handsome Jack.
okay.
And I'm so excited to see how they learned from from 3, what new type they're gonna bring, what type they're gonna improve upon. I'm curious if you're gonna agree with me, Nappy. I don't know about you, Kofi, but to me, Borderlands 3 multiplayer is peak gaming.
So
What do
I
I
played
mean?
more of Tiny Tina, which I loved.
Which Tiny
And I would say
Tina? The
Tiny
Tiny
Tina is
Tina.
probably very much in the same vein, right?
Wait.
Yeah,
Which Tiny Tina? Are you talking about Tiny Tina from Borderlands 2 DLC or the Tiny
No,
Tina
no, like
game?
its own game.
Oh, the recent one. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that can be counted. Why do I mean by that? One, they improved on so many things. First off, teleport on your map is free. You can teleport close to everywhere. All you need is to have your vehicle with you, and you can teleport to your vehicle. Like, that's amazing. Second point, and this is the most important point. Nappy can be level 10 and I can be level 100, and we can be fighting the same enemies, yet he is fighting a level 10 enemy and I'm fighting a level 100 enemy. The same exact enemy at the same exact time. And when the loot drops, I get level 100 loot and he get level 10 drop. I have
Mm.
No.
yet to. Am I wrong?
There are other games that does do that, loot based off of levels and stuff. I mean,
But
you can even go back to like say for instance like Gears had a difficulty thing where you could play with different people and everyone could be on their own separate difficulties.
but
It's difficult to pull off, but games have pulled it off.
same, even with the different in level, you
What do you
can do
mean?
it.
What do you mean as they play a different? If they're so yeah, they're progress. It's called like a separate progression. People have pulled it off before. There's plenty of games that actually have done it. Some done it well, some have not. But it's
Mhm.
not. That's not a new concept. But it's good. But I will say Borderlands 3 did do that very well.
I have yet to see because we hear so many things about games like Rise of the Ronin and other games that try to do co-op and it just won't work. But with Borderlands, it's a jump in, jump out co-op.
Yeah, I gotta love that. You gotta love that Unreal Engine.
Yeah, the thing is with Borderlands, it does so many things right that at some point you just take it for granted because it's just Borderlands. And
Mm.
then when you see someone else not doing it right, then you're gonna think, oh, hey, why is Borderlands the only company doing it? But yeah, I'm gonna move on from that. The showcase by itself, it was boring. It was absolutely a snore Um, a few titles that stuck up to me, but for the most of it, it was yeah, it was a forgetful show. It makes you just question where they are with development. Are they running that far behind? Can they not show anything at all? Impressive. Even Borderlands, they just showed a teaser. They didn't even show gameplay or a video, anything like that. Just a teaser. I mean, and people will give it, because it's when a teaser is first shown, it's okay. In my mind, no, show us more, but that's just me. And then we hit so close to the ending. I knew from the moment we heard about the rumors, I knew the rumors were true because the previous rumors were also true when it comes to Xbox. When they didn't drop the PlayStation 5 with the Xbox, I was like, okay, interesting. And then I said, okay, so maybe and that's what my friend also said. They said, we're gonna go off air and they're gonna tweet it or something like that. And right when my friend finished talking, we get to hear one more thing, and we all knew what was gonna happen. Look, as much as I love the banter about console war and stuff like that, I'm frustrated with this move for a few reasons. One, because it shows that Xbox just can't cut it. They're not capable of surviving on their own. They need a PlayStation now to survive. Like, that's crazy. And it's frustrating because even though I'm not a fan, not into the Indiana Jones franchise, it was exclusive, quote unquote, to the system. It should have been something for system seller, but it's not. And this, in my opinion, makes you question what other games are gonna be coming to PlayStation. What other ports are gonna be coming? And also, is anything gonna stay exclusive to Xbox? Only time will tell. But yeah, I I just think when you realize that they actually had to take time and create that visual for the PlayStation 5, like that screams that this is not a simple port, in my
That's
opinion.
that's that visual did not take a lot of effort.
Sorry?
The visual itself, that didn't take a lot of effort.
It didn't take a lot of effort, but it absolutely took effort to create.
No, because you already had the format. You just added extra text. That's what I'm saying. That didn't.
Yeah, but you could again easily put a tweet and say PlayStation 5 coming.
Oh,
or
we all
even,
agree there. We all
or,
agree
or,
there, but they,
or
they
you
didn't
could,
they didn't make some like extra extenuous effort to
or, or,
put
or,
PS5 summer
or,
or spring 2025.
or even what they could have done, put the Xbox logo and say Xbox and Game Pass 2025, 2024, and then below say PlayStation 5 2025, something like that. But no,
Oh,
they gave it its own moment,
oh
and that's
yeah,
what.
oh yeah. We all agree. Like I said, Xbox fumble. Like no one's gonna argue that. Like yeah. I mean, and I do agree with what Yobi is saying as far as Indiana Jones goes. I don't think that it was gonna be this big system selling IP. And that probably also played a part in it being pushed to multi-platform, especially when you factor in the royalty split that they have to do with Disney. That probably played a factor in it. Plus
It
the
makes you
whole
question.
all the FTC stuff and everything else also probably played a role in it. Because the FTC was fighting them on Indiana Jones being exclusive, and they're still battling the FTC apparently. So I'm sure it's a bunch
Yeah,
of
go ahead.
factors. I said I'm sure it's not a simple cut and dry one answer thing. I'm sure it's several factors that made them go in that direction.
It also makes you question: is Blade gonna be multiplayer too?
Uh that I don't think is
Why
set
not?
in
It's
stone.
literally the same thing.
I'm not saying yes or no. Well, Blade is a bigger IP.
It's still owned by the mice.
It's still owned by the mouse. But I can see a situation, especially if it's launching with their new hardware. It's not coming anytime soon. So being that it's launching on new hardware, I think, how is the hardware performing when they launch that new um generation? How is that performing? Like it just depends on, I think it depends partially, where they're at and what they believe that IP will do for their platform.
Mm-hmm.
So I like I said, I don't think anything is as simple as a like a simple yes or no. I think they just look at they look at analysis and detail factors of what they can expect per title, and based on their expectations, they make different decisions on different titles. Like Doom was announced day one coming to PlayStation 5. They even announced it at the Xbox showcase, and nobody thought anything of
Yeah,
it. It was just
because that's a legacy title.
yeah, but still,
Phil Spencer already said legacy titles are staying.
no, he never no that his original statement was legacy titles will continue to be supported, but we've been saying for a long time, and there's been a lot of discussion and outrage that the next Elder Scrolls might potentially be an Xbox exclusive, because that's what they said their intent was. That intent may have changed, but when they purchased Bethesda, their original intent was to make the next Elder Scrolls 6 is supposed to be apparently a console exclusive. That may change, because it was popular. So I think it's fluid. I've always said that now that Xbox is like literally the largest third party publisher, they're not going to stop being the largest third party publisher, but they're still going to have a curated set of titles that are exclusive to their platform.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to choose which of those titles it's going to be. So
one last thing, with Towerborn, it's looking good. It just apparently, if you play it on Steam on PC, when you buy it later, when you play it later, your entire what you call it account is gonna be wiped clean. It's not gonna get
Which game?
carried over.
Towerborn?
Oh,
Yeah.
Tower.
I don't know anything about the early access. I just know it starts September 10th. So
I mean, I've played the beta for it. It's fun, so I'm gonna play it regardless. But
that's what I'm saying. It's weird. You played the beta on Xbox, right?
I did.
Yeah, so it's like if you played it on Xbox, there's no reason that it shouldn't be able to be played on the Xbox PC launcher. Is all I'm saying. If you're gonna just release it solely on PC,
Correct.
just saying.
Yeah.
But whatever. I think that was more of a money play, because they want you to pay for the early access on Steam.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean, and Xbox will get it eventually. It's just I think they want to test the waters with the bigger audience first.
I hear you. But let me go over and get my boy Kofi. I know he has some thoughts regarding Gamescom in general, and also Xbox having their big fumble at the show.
Yeah, I obviously say something negative about Xbox almost every time I'm asked. But as of late, I try to keep the same mantra. I support games they release for individual purchase because I like various games over the last 3 or 4 years. Pentiment and Horizon, and shoot, I'm forgetting the rhythm game with Chai. But when
Five Rush.
I guess I don't like the idea of kind of believing that the Xbox ecosystem will have some tentpole titles only for us to kind of turn around and have that experience kind of peeled away from PlayStation's competition. And I know a lot of people have posted, the console war ended a while ago. It ended when some of these titles started going to PlayStation, and I kind of go. I treat them as that third party experience because I usually buy them on, I have been buying them on PlayStation, like Pentiment, and I would have now that something like Hi-Fi Rush is available. Yeah,
Well, that's not
I'm
an
sure as
Xbox
heck.
game anymore. That's crafting now. So.
Right, but I mean, even before we knew all that, right? Even
Yeah.
before we knew about this whole change, I'm gonna start saying, hey, well, maybe Blade will come, and I can just stay on my, my PlayStation and get all these great titles. I believe will be great.
See, but the thing is, and I think that's kind of the issue that the media is presenting now, is that they're not being straightforward in what their plans are. It's very ambiguous. I'm tongue twisted right now, so that word's not coming out. Y'all know what I was about to say. Ambiguous or something like that, but it ain't coming out.
Ambiguous?
No, it's not. And yeah, ambiguous, I think is the word. Anyway, I'm tongue twisted. Probably because I have this cold. But yeah. So they're not being very clear with what titles will go. What's the criteria of what is gonna go to other platforms? It's kind of the Wild West to us in the public sphere. So I think that leads to a little bit of that's leading to a bit of anxiety in the media, I guess, because people want to know what exactly is coming to other platforms, and they don't. So, like, how long would you be willing to wait for Blade? Like, if Blade didn't come for like 2 years, would you just be like, well, it's been 2 years already?
That's a good point. I just think that Xbox could create more competition on their for between console owners on Xbox and console owners on PlayStation, but because they believe in an ecosystem going everywhere, it seems that they've also lost focus on IPs, kind of pulling people away from PlayStation. And the only reason why I encourage pulling away from PlayStation is I do believe that the competition between the two still can bring up the best of studios that are trying to prove something and trying to optimize for the Xbox gamer. I think Series X is still untapped, and we're many years in now. I think we're like 4 years basically, and that's like disappointing. And then we keep hearing like, oh, because of the the X version has this particular challenge, and I'm like, what about the whole X is amazing? We have like one, okay, maybe 2 titles. I'll give them that have been well used. Shout out to the Horizon studio, and shout out to obviously like what's it called, Hellblade 2. That's okay. I was hoping for a little bit more. Third-party partnerships, I count. If there was some sort of publish-only deal that they had, like Gears of War was in the past, I would absolutely consider that a healthy boost to their ecosystem. But it's just, I don't know. It just feels really off to me.
I'm gonna piggyback what you said, and I am going to agree that yes, the console wars are over. In the sense of, I think as the years go on and as technology continues to improve, I don't think the hardware is as important as it used to be anymore, because it's more about, I think as technology continues to grow and other devices are able to compute these games that you already own, it's gonna be more about how many devices can you have your storefront on besides just your native hardware. So like being able to buy and play games on your PS app through your iPhone or your tablet or whatever TV device. Like, I think as technology improves over the next 5 years, I think you won't need the console as much anymore. Like, what if they start putting what if they start putting like a terabyte hard drive inside these Samsung TVs, and you can just access the PlayStation Store on your Samsung TV, download the game, and play it natively just on the TV that you own? Then what does that mean for the actual PlayStation 6? Some people might not opt to get a PlayStation 6. They might opt to buy a $5,000 TV with a 1 terabyte hard drive inside of it that allows them to play Xbox and PlayStation games.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
I think that's kind of where we're going.
I think I want to agree with you, but I don't know if the convenience creates enough consistency with your consumer. I think the content is more important than its availability.
Availability is always going to be the trump card. Like once the technology is there, like all right, so like let's say in 2030, right? In 2030, every TV is equipped with a hard drive that you can download movies and games and whatever. So that you have the option to stream content and you have the option to download content. At first, those TVs are going to be outrageously priced, right? So maybe it won't have an impact, in the beginning of the next generation. But by like 2033, 2035, them TVs are going to be cheap, and that's going to just kind of be like a standard thing. So then everybody.
What about other streaming platforms that are available everywhere, but all we hear is about them hiking prices and losing subscribers?
Well,
They're
losing subscribers. Their situation is that there's too many streaming services, right? But I don't think you're gonna have that. I mean, we have our 3 platforms locked in, or 4, I would say. Steam,
right? 4 for sure.
We have our 4 locked in: Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Nobody else.
So you don't count GeForce Now or Luna or.
Well, GeForce Now is just. I thought GeForce Now was not necessarily its own platform. It's like a service that you access with games that you purchased. Like you don't purchase the games from Nvidia, right?
It allows you to borrow their hardware to stream the games you already own.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not necessarily a platform in that sense. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So like that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's gonna be some other big dog that comes in and is like, oh no, we're our own platform with our own launcher now. Like I just think, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, they will evolve with the technology. Because once technology gets to the point where they don't have to make hardware anymore, I think they won't make hardware anymore. If the technology is like I said, in the TV already. Or if you want a super high-end experience, you just build a PC. And then if you need a under the TV box, you can buy it. But if the under the TV box that they were gonna make is gonna be equivalent to what's already inside the TV, that's what I'm saying. Like technology is gonna change over the next 10 years, and that's why I'm saying I think the console war is kind of dead because it's more about your platform and how much you can expand it. That's why I believe PlayStation is working on their own PC launcher now because they want to expand their platform. They don't want to solely sell on Steam. They want to be able to sell and get 100% of the sales through a PlayStation launcher. And you got people who are loyal to PlayStation who will be like, I'll gladly buy it on the PlayStation app instead of on Steam.
I just wish the number one thing Xbox could focus on, and maybe this is their goal long term, but what I wish was for them to really, I don't know, use their content instead of their availability first to get numbers and subscribers to prove that the model actually works. But just spreading yourself across all the platforms, I'm not convinced that's the smartest way to do it. I just think you need more great quality titles.
Well, I mean, they've announced a lot of great quality titles, and to this point, almost all of them are exclusive to the Xbox platform. It's only a couple. There's no new IP that they're making currently that's slated to go to a competing platform. No new IP. Like Towerborn would be perfect on the Switch. It's not going to the Switch. South of Midnight, it's not announced. Here's Where E Day, it's not announced. Like none of their IPs, none of their new quote unquote tentpole, IPs that they've announced that are coming in 2025 and 2026 or Fable. None of them are going to other platforms. They're all either going to be on Windows or Xbox to this point.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if something like Blade would go.
I wouldn't be
feel like
either. I wouldn't be surprised if Blade goes. I wouldn't be surprised if OD goes. I mean, there's certain games that I think would make. I wouldn't be surprised if Hellblade 2 eventually goes. I mean, it kind of makes sense. If they're gonna, like I said, they're the largest third party publisher. Certain titles are gonna make sense on other platforms. Hellblade 2 might be one of those. Whereas like Project Mara might not, because it's a new IP, it's horror, and whatever. That one might not. But I think, Ori, like the same thing with Ori. Ori made sense to go to other platforms. And it did. It went to Switch, right? So yeah. Any other thoughts, Kofi?
I think that's most of my thoughts for now. I think there was something else, but no, it's okay.
Okay. And Nappy, when I said the PlayStation people that will be like, I'll gladly buy it on the PlayStation app as opposed to Steam, I'm not talking about PC MR people. I'm talking about console peasants like myself who said, I'm gonna jump into PC gaming, and I built myself a gaming PC, and I was never really into PC gaming like that. I have a couple of my PC titles that I play on PC, but I'm not a PC loyalist per se. I'm not loyal to Steam or Epic or any of those things. So I will buy a game on the Microsoft Store, because I don't know any better, because I don't play enough games on Steam to be like, oh, the Xbox launcher is complete trash. Why would I ever play on an Xbox launcher as opposed to Steam launcher? Like, I just don't have that experience. And there are plenty of people like that who are making their way over from console to becoming PC gamers who aren't. They're PC gamers, but they're not quite PCMR. Like Omar. Omar is not PCMR. He has a gaming PC, but he's a console gamer. So if PlayStation releases a launcher and gives him everything that he's used to on PlayStation, yes, Omar will buy his games on the PC launcher for PlayStation as opposed to Steam. There's a whole bunch of people like that.
I have to say, I guess if all your friends are on the PlayStation Network, that makes sense.
So
and
those are the people that I'm talking about. So, but yeah.
But it doesn't matter, because Steam, you have to have a PlayStation account anyway to play half of these damn Steam game PlayStation.
Yeah, but those are PCMR people that don't want to do that. We're talking about the console peasants who decide who decide that they want to have an upgraded experience on the PC, but they don't quite consider themselves PCMR. And yes, I am including myself in the console peasantry. So don't be offended if you are listening to this later or you're here live and you hear me calling you a console peasant because you subscribe to playing on a console primarily. But with that said, what are your thoughts on the whole Gamescom and Xbox fiasco?
Okay, so as far as the Xbox fiasco, I really didn't pay too much attention to it because I wasn't affected as much. I'm like,
because you're PCMR, we understand.
Right, but it's just that I didn't really care much about Indiana Jones. I mean, the movies were mad to me.
When's the last Indiana Jones that came out, and did it sell well? Let's see.
I have no idea.
Last movie, yeah. Last movie.
Movie came out like last year.
No, it didn't. Ain't no way.
Did it?
Yeah, the fifth one.
Hell no. Last Indiana Jones movie. Let's look this up. Ain't no way an Indiana Jones movie came out last year. That had to be like a B movie.
2023.
2020. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, you see, Kofi, you just proved the point. They don't give a fuck about that movie. You're the only one that knew.
Shit. But yeah, I honestly don't care about Indiana Jones. I wasn't affected. I wasn't getting the game anyway. I mean, Gundam Breakers is literally coming out within like a week.
All right.
And
Gundam Breakers, baby.
And then I got Wukong, and
Dial
I'm just like,
Destiny. Yeah, Dial of Destiny.
Yeah, oh, he's still looking at that movie.
And he's
man.
looking old as shit in this movie. Oh my gosh, Harrison Ford.
I mean, like I said, like I honestly didn't care much about Indiana Jones. So I was just like, man. As far as a Gamescom like show in general, I had to watch it like 3 or 4 times just to fully digest everything that was shown in that show. It didn't capture my attention. It was nice to see more Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay.
Okay.
I like the fact how they had a spider with like a flower thing on it, which reminded me of a game that didn't sell that didn't do very well, Wild Hearts. I'm like, damn, how do you let Monster Hunter do Wild Hearts better than Wild Hearts? That's crazy. It looks better at least. But there was like a little mobile game that I was like, oh, this was interesting.
Here we go, Nappy with this mobile shit.
Hey,
Reggie's not here to fight with you because Reggie will fight you on that.
So Tribe 9, I was like, oh, it's coming to Steam. I was,
I know that game.
It's coming to mobile and iOS too. I was like, oh, this is like a fun little game to play on the side.
That's only coming to mobile?
No, it's coming to Steam and mobile.
Boo.
And we're starting to see more mobile games show up in these shows. So I'm like, okay. I mean, these little Snapdragon 3 chips are pushing it. Them little M1 Apple chips are burned to a crisp.
I will say the line is getting blurred between what is a mobile game and what is a console game. I will say that. People are being like, is that a mobile game? Like, when they see it now, they're not 100% sure if it's mobile or console. So yeah, mobile's definitely coming a long way.
I will say mobile has started to blur the line between mobile and Nintendo Switch levels of gameplay.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, people, like, I've heard people, like, I've watched a couple of people's reaction to Gamescom, and they were like, is that mobile or is that console? So the line is getting blurred. It's definitely happening.
Yeah, we can't ignore the mobile gaming much longer, unfortunately.
We can, but
why you want to ignore it? I mean, you got it last 24, man. Just download the games and see for yourself.
I don't want to play on a little. How big is a phone screen? 6 inches, 8 inches?
But it's in your pocket. It's like playing. I know you had a PSP. I know you had a Game Boy Color.
It was dedicated. It was a dedicated device. And yes,
okay,
I still
have
a
dedicated game and Android device.
Nah, I'm good.
It's like $200. You can get like a something and play like Call of Duty Warzone Mobile.
I will play on a dedicated device. But
okay. Anyway, but
this is my mobile. All right, so
that's actually a really good when you mod it. By the way,
that's my mobile.
Mod it. I respect that. A lot of slept-on games on that console, but yeah. Overall, the show was like, man. I mean, thank you for the show. I didn't learn anything besides that one game. Yeah, it was just like a lot of the games I honestly didn't care much about, except for Monster Hunter Wilds. Borderlands 4, when they revealed, I was like, okay. Caught my interest a little bit, but I was like, okay, so it's like in development. Do we know the characters? I mean, you killed all the sirens in 3. There's like one siren left.
I'm surprised.
So like, what are we doing now? So I'm just like, okay, well, we'll see what Borderlands when it comes. But right now, like, Monster Hunter Wild was the biggest thing for me. And I'm like, oh, I love seeing the gameplay trailers for Monster Hunter and just how they expand upon the world, the different volumes. They were great to watch, and it's good to see that we're not just in a desert. That we're going to be like a deep forest jungle with water and stuff. And I'm like, Monster Hunter Wilds is definitely going to be the game I'm gonna sink a lot of hours into.
Oh. I know if Zero was here, he would have brought up this game, but I'm surprised nobody brought up King of Meat. They're like a interesting little party game.
Meh.
Like I said, Zero would be the one to bring it up. I think that one's actually going to be. I think that one's going to do numbers. I think it's going to sell pretty well.
King of what?
King of Meat.
Oh.
The title and the game they don't match, but the game looks like a party game. Like you would invite or you would have 8 friends.
Are you talking about that game where like you're supposed to be like a scary monster type party game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember. It was cool, but the problem is I have a hard time getting friends together at this point. So
But I'm
it's just
saying I
like,
think that game will do well.
it will do okay.
I'm surprised nobody bought. And as far as that last Indiana Jones film, it actually lost 143 million dollars. That's how bad it did at the box office.
Damn, man, why you gotta kick Indiana Jones? He's already down, man. You
So,
really gotta just stomp on him.
so like when you got numbers like that, that probably also played a factor into like why are we keeping this particular game exclusive when it just doesn't, when the IP it's in general just doesn't have a lot of legs. At this point.
I mean, the newer generation don't give a shit about Indiana Jones.
But even the old generation doesn't give a fuck about it because they didn't go to the movies either. So, I mean, you got all ages go to the movies. So even the old people didn't care to go to see his old ass. It's like like people are starting to get sick of seeing what's that guy Liam Neeson. People are starting to get tired of seeing his old ass do like these action films. It's like his box office numbers are starting to go down.
I
don't even know. I don't even think he's getting box office movies anymore. It's like all B-roll movies now.
I mean, hey, man, it's like that's an actor of his time. Okay.
Yeah. Jason Statham's kind of going in that trajectory too, where he's starting to kind of go down. So I mean, like after a while, people just so
move on.
But I want that Riddick IP back. That's what I want. But yeah. So we kind of hit this topic on the head. Anything else Gamescom related that someone wants to go back and touch on, or are we jumping straight into topic 2?
I think we can cover the topic 2.
All right. Well, with that said, we are going to jump into topic number 2. And before we jump into topic number 2, just want to invite everybody to like, subscribe, share this out. Appreciate your viewership, definitely. And I gotta center another topic. Man, I was drunk when I did this. Not literally, I'm just saying. That's what it looks like. But yeah, Concord. It did not do well, which I think was anticipated by a lot of people in the gaming community that this game just wasn't gonna have the legs that it needed.
Do you want to see the Steam gameplay? You want to see
I've looked at it as recently as this afternoon. It was like 146 people when I looked.
You know where it peaked at?
It peaked at 697, I believe. On Steam.
It was like 709, but it was.
Oh, it's 709 on Steam?
Yeah, that's bad. That's like.
No, that's all-time users or peak concurrent. I'm pretty sure peak concurrent was like 697.
I think it's all-time user, but it's pretty bad. People picked it up and put that shit right back down.
Well, we kind of got the feeling that was going to be the case when the beta didn't do its numbers. I think the first sign that the game wasn't selling was when the closed beta weekend became a free beta weekend to everyone. And when we saw that only, I think the beta had a PC player count of like 2,300 people or something like that. That was its peak player count. So, definitely a disappointment considering they purchased the studio. The studio had 8 years to develop this game, and the public just did not receive it well. I mean, people who have played it, most people who have played it said the game is decent. I haven't heard anyone say the game is horrible. I've heard people say where the game can improve, which, every live service game has areas to improve when it launches, typically. But the foundation of the game seems to be fine for the most part. It just did not find an audience. I believe that this game has done worse than that Lord of the Rings Gollum game, which is like one of the worst reviewed games of all time. So it had a lower player count than that particular game. The game didn't review horrible. It's in the 70s, right? Like low 70s, like 71, 72-ish. It's not horrible. I'll look right now. on
Concord on PC. Let's see what it's
Concord
got out.
Metacritic.
Mostly positive.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
people. That's what I'm saying. The people who played it, they're mostly positive on the game. It has a 66 meta. On PlayStation 5, but only 15 people have reviewed it. It has a 70 meta on PC. Um, and
Yeah.
seven people have reviewed it. So even the reviewers aren't really giving this game its due. Typically, when a PlayStation game launches, you'll have like 60, 70 reviews like in the first week. So this is definitely interesting. I'm gonna start this off with the
Ooh.
PlayStation people. I'm gonna start off with Kofi. Kofi, what are your thoughts on Concord kind of flopping as hard as it has?
I did not expect this. I mean, I'll be very clear. I did not think it was going to be anything impressive because I've seen the reaction, right? I think we know now that you can kind of get a heartbeat on things based on people's reactions, and I just didn't think it was going to be this low concurrent numbers on Steam. I honestly thought that there would be a better showing, at least 1,000 concurrent. And to be
Oh,
honest, I thought it was going to be more than that. I thought it was going to be,
and
a
before you
few dozen thousand.
continue, I do want to
Go
let
ahead.
you know that Concord is, last I heard, it was 47th on the PlayStation Store as well. So it's not doing great on the PlayStation Store either. Just
Yeah, but it's just boldly apparent that not enough originality was given to this iteration of the genre. Right? We've seen Gundam Evolution come and go. We've seen, I'm sure, a few other champion type shooters come and go. And unfortunately, because of Concord's development length, they started when it was probably the hotness. I mean, right, 2016 is Overwatch,
yeah.
and if you subtract from our
Yeah.
time 8 years that they said they were in development, they were starting right when Overwatch was released, and so it sounded smart, right? Oh, we're going to make our own looter. I mean, I'm sorry, champion based arena shooter. And like you said, they had enough dev time that people like it. Like your average user likes it, but they just weren't unique enough. And I think I'm sure they've been concerned.
Oh,
Just because when originally live service games were kind of bashed by many people within the gaming community, not just the PlayStation community, they probably said, well, you haven't tried our game, so, don't be too negative. But then when they saw the game, reactions, I'm sure they were kind of nervous. Um, I commend them on their commitment to having this game out, and I've seen a lot of publicity for it. But yeah, it is definitely the worst flop I've seen, and I've seen some rough ones. Like I think Starhawk did better than this. I think not Metal Gear Solid, Twisted Metal. I think they did better than this, and I think that of course, like Killzone Shadowfall definitely did better than this. There's
I
another
mean,
one I'm forgetting in the multiplayer space from PS3. Oh, Mag definitely did better than this.
this game
So
might not sell 50,000 copies. Like that's how.
yeah,
Uh,
it's definitely and almost any time PlayStation has tried to mimic other IPs, it just hasn't worked out long term. Even something like Legend of Dragoon, as great as it is, was almost in the spirit of something like Final Fantasy VII. And unfortunately, we didn't see any sort of culmination of that title in other titles. Well, for example, when the originality I think is a little more potent. The series has many iterations. I'm thinking of Wild Arms. Japan studio. I really think had something with their Wild West theme. Even though the JRPG genre was everybody was making their own shot, but I
Yeah,
think Wild Arms had enough originality that people wanted a Wild Arms 2. People wanted a Wild Arms 1 remake. People wanted Wild Arms 3 and then Wild Arms 4 and Wild Arms 5. So
I would love.
you
They
just
should just reboot Wild Arms. It is.
I think a reboot of Wild Arms would be amazing. Of course, we have Armed
hey
Fantasia coming.
Google,
Armed
turn off
Fantasia
Bedroom
looks
Lights.
really great. I am a backer of Armed Fantasia, so at least it exists in that spirit. Unfortunately, we have things like Lagaya that are like dead. But anyway, yeah, I think it's unfortunately this is me blaming PlayStation for not looking at why their IPs have failed in the past, and saying, hey, like your generational existence should also bring generational wisdom,
Yeah.
and you weren't very wise um, to allow a studio to have, in my opinion, limited their originality by following the genre so closely. So
Well, they bought them late in their development cycle. They didn't buy them until like 2 years ago. So by the time they
that's
bought
true.
them, they were already 6 years into development. So whatever they were making, they were already happy with the state of that particular product.
That's
Now,
true. They believed in that. Yep.
yeah. So do you think that part of the issue with this game? I mean, I already know that. I'll get into why I think it had its issues on PlayStation. But do you think that this game suffered from not having an early access period, being that it had 8 years of development? This feels like the type of game that you know the community would help you in developing it as you are making it when you're spending 8 years developing such a title.
I don't think it's unreasonable to think something like that. Nice long betas. I'm a fan of, to be honest with you.
Like kind of
I
like
don't know
kind of
about
like
as long as Grounded, but like typically
Baldur's
longer
Gate.
betas. Like, yeah. Oh yeah. Baldur's Gate. I bought early access in 2019,
Yeah,
so it spent forever
yeah.
in their beta access. And look, and to your point, look what became of them. Not only are they one of the greatest RPGs I think ever made, um, it's a multiplayer game. It's a multiplayer game, and it doesn't get enough credit for that. So that's really a testament to that. But at the same time, we've seen games sit in beta for too long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think there is a healthy balance, um, depending on how much you want to invest in the title. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely disappointing. I really hope the devs can live to see another day. I know PlayStation will love to use some of their talent elsewhere within other studios, because studios always need help, right? They always need a designer, they always need some sort of engineer. Um, so if anything, if that studio is lessened, I know that talent will be needed on something else that's being made,
Right.
Wolverine or what have you. So yep.
I also want to ask you this. Do you think that part of what played into this game failing to this point? I mean, the game has, games like this always have a chance to catch legs later on when it's a live service game, as long as um, the publisher wants to continue to support it. So, I mean, as of right now, it's a failed game. But do you think part of this game failing is a message from the PlayStation community to PlayStation as far as the type of games that they want PlayStation to make?
I absolutely do think it's a message from them because of their reaction of news from, I think what, 18 months ago, or no, like 2 years ago, when we found out how many, quote unquote, live service games were coming to the platform. And I just think that most of the people I saw did not like the idea of that. And I think back then we didn't understand what that meant. We thought, oh, well, Sucker Punch is definitely now making, a single player game. And well, we know Naughty Dog is already doing their thing. But I think we all believe that first party was going to get forced um, by the majority to make service only games. And that made people really upset. So I think that was already the atmosphere. Um, Continuing with that climate, finally seeing it came out in two waves, right? We had something which was absolutely wonderful, which I think Helldivers. I absolutely love Helldivers, and it goes to show that it can work.
But that game is
Um,
carried mostly by the PC community, not the
Yeah,
PlayStation
so
community.
no, the
I
PC
don't
community
know
is
about
carrying that
that.
Yeah, the
game.
PC
Yeah,
community,
I
The
the
don't know
PC
about
community,
community
that.
is carrying that
the
game.
PC community accounted for, I think, more than like almost 70% of the game's overall sales.
Over 70%.
Yeah,
Was it? I have to definitely check that one out.
yeah, it's like it's over 70% of the sales. Like, pretty confident in that number.
Yeah, I had no idea if it was that much of a difference.
Yeah, the
Um,
game found its
I still
home
think-
on the original game. Found its home on PC.
PC.
Yeah, so it's only
The other
natural.
But
Hey,
the
you
other
can play
thing
the
was,
Yeah.
what's it called? Oh, so. I guess when I originally, played Helldivers, I didn't play any crossplay with PC gamers, and what I guess the summary I came to was there was a community that loved Helldivers and was ready for whatever they were going to release next. So, for example, let's say that it didn't sell nearly as well as it did, like some 12 million copies. I still think there's a space for it,
Yeah,
but I don't think there was a space for it, for Concord.
yeah,
It's just
for sure. And second part that I wanted to ask you, if this is the statement that the PlayStation community is sending to PlayStation, what does this mean for the other live service games that are on the way? Because there are like 4 more on the way. Marathon, there's a Horizon MMO apparently that's on the way.
yeah.
We got the Payday game. Fair Play or Fair Games, whatever that one is. And I think there's one more that I missed.
I don't know how well some of these titles will do. I think how much I really think it depends on the amount of content or engagement they can have at launch. Like for example, the Horizon MMO. That one's going to be, I think, heavily dependent on how much content do you have at launch. Is it feel like the end game is really unimpressive? Because MMO players, as we all know, they sink in hours and they'll do 2,000. They'll do 2,000 hours in a season.
I agree. I agree with you there, but my thing is how many Horizon players are MMO people, and because that's probably who you're going to sell to initially, and then of the people who are Horizon fans, how many of them want to actually sink their life into an Horizon MMO?
I don't know if there is any correlation right now between Horizon players and Horizon MMO potential, but I've seen a lot of people gravitate to something that they never thought that they'd like. And so I have to give them respect because I feel like if there was a world I'd make an MMO, it is Horizon.
Yeah,
Just
for
based
sure.
on the potential of fighting
Yeah.
robot dinosaurs.
1 second, Coffee.
Go ahead.
If you played Horizon Forbidden West, you already know they set it up to be played as an MMO. Every character plays different. One of your teammates plays different, and at the end, they all come in together to form a team that help you take out a big group of people. Like the setup is there for a MMO. It's just a matter of it existing now.
Yeah.
How it's done, we're gonna need to see.
My thing isn't if the game is going to be good or not. It's the support that the game will. I don't have a question of whether or not the game is going to be good or not. My question is a matter of support now. Because, like I said, I don't think Concord is this horror.
If the game is going to be good, it's gonna be supported. Look at Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2 was supported by a PC community that already existed from Helldivers 1. That's
not
where
only PC, PlayStation, they came through as well.
If PC sales did not exist, if it was solely PlayStation sales, that game would have flopped.
I don't know about flop.
That's that. Based on the state, it wouldn't have been a top 20 game for PlayStation. It wouldn't have charted in the top 20 of NPD. That's what Matt Piscatella said. So if it didn't chart in the top 20 of NPD, that's not necessarily. I wouldn't call it a success. That's via Circana. So I'm not saying that people didn't buy it on PlayStation. It sold relatively okay on PlayStation, but the majority of its sales, what pushed it into the top 20 of NPD or Circana, whatever they call it now, was the PC community.
I'm gonna have to look this up. The split of how many it sold on PlayStation versus PC.
It's quite a bit.
Because
Yeah,
still, 30% of what we know is at least 12 million. That's a significant boost for that title.
And 3 million in sales, that's not anything to sniff at. It's not if 30
compared to its original title.
Well, I don't know how much the original sold, but
Oh man, I mean, maybe 100,000, few hundred
I mean,
thousand.
that's between the PC, the Vita. That's like a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
let's see. Let's see. The original Helldivers, on PC at least, it had 2.2 million sold on Steam. On Steam by itself, well, I'm sure it probably sold 3 million between that, and you said it was on PlayStation also. So if it was on PlayStation, and the Vita, I'm pretty sure it probably hit around 3 million. Talking about 800,000 at least between Vita and PlayStation.
Hmm?
The original Helldivers, Dive Harder.
Your original Divers sales.
2.2 million on Steam alone, based on BG Insights. Oh, not necessarily. Okay. And most. So when the game launched, Helldivers 2, Matt Piscatella said that 60% of the sales in the launch month was from PC. Hold on. I'll see if I can get if it's just flat out 60.
Wow, so Helldivers 1 peaked at 6,691 players, which is decent. Because it came out at the same time that Overwatch came out. Let's see. Oh, Helldivers 2 is still going strong with its 21,000 players.
on
it's
Steam
doing pretty well.
I last checked it was like 19,000. So yeah, but that was
Yeah,
that was daytime. I didn't check at nighttime. At nighttime it's gonna be higher. People are off work and stuff.
Yeah, yes. Actually, Helldivers is sitting up there. It's doing pretty decent.
Yeah, it's a game that has legs. It's gonna be around for because it already had a community.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any other thoughts in regards to Concord, future live service titles, and all that jazz from PlayStation, Kofi?
I think that's it from me.
Okay. Omar, what are your thoughts on everything revolving around Concord and it, tanking at the would say at the box office? I don't know what would we say for video games tanking at the what? At the sales charts?
So disclaimer, I never played Concord,
Okay.
nor do I have any interest in playing Concord. With that being said, deserved. Nobody asked for this.
Well, the game was coming regardless of if PlayStation bought them or not.
And I'm not gonna support it. It's that simple.
Okay.
And the people that I know is not gonna support it either. Again, my biggest thing is, and again, I also know people that are supporting it are having a blast.
Yeah.
Basically, I see it like this, and people can disagree with me. Concord is bleeding edge. Concord is literally bleeding edge. Just a way bigger budget. That's it.
Fair. That's fair.
That's it. There is nothing but or it about it. People are gonna gravitate to it, so be it. People can play whatever they wanna play. That's on them.
Check your Twitter napping.
You said what?
Check your Twitter.
My Twitter?
Yeah. Yobi sent you something. That's all. Continue, Omar.
Yeah. And that one, 8 years. Apparently, the idea is 8 years in development, but the actual development, I'm not sure because the studio isn't even 8 years old.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I looked at this. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
But yeah, besides that, I'm actually happy that flopped. The same way I was happy when Redfall flopped. Because my thing is, when you put out trash, you're gonna expect trash response. I mean,
Well,
who got
most
in
people
their
who play
right
the game
mind?
say that the game isn't necessarily trash. I mean, it's the live
No,
service game that has the.
they released it next to Wukong. Are you stupid?
Well, two different audiences typically. I mean,
No, but still, no,
even if you
still.
look at Wukong, most of its sales are from China. It's not like it's selling gangbusters worldwide. It's selling gangbusters in China, and it's having like average new IP sales, globally.
No, it's
What? Are
not
you
what?
sure about
90%,
No.
90% of the sales are from China or from Asia.
Black with Wukong is like
Yeah,
the
no, a
second
big
highest
big
game.
majority of
No.
Wukong is
Yeah,
from
no,
is from China.
I'm not talking about whether the game is successful or not. The game is extremely successful. It's one of our topics, but 90% of its sales came from Asia specifically, whereas the rest of the world is 10%. So you're talking about a million in sales from the rest of the world. That's what I'm saying. It's selling relatively normal to, a new IP that would normally release. But as far as China, that's where this and Asia in general, that's where the dominant portion of the sales came from. That's all I'm saying. It's sold fantastic.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's sold
What
fantastic.
they broke.
It did 10 million in like 3 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I said, 90% of that is from Asia, that Asian region specifically. 88.1%, I think, is China alone.
But who cares where sales are from? When look at Japanese
No.
games, they don't hit that sale. Like some
Yes.
games gonna hit it, some games are not gonna hit it.
No, I'm just saying that you're saying comparing Black Myth to Concord, and I'm saying that's two completely different audiences is the only point that I'm making.
I actually disagree with you. The people that wanted to play Wukong also wanted to play Concord. That's what I've seen from on my feed. Juggling between the two.
The live service gaming community is a blend of a bunch, but it's different from people that primarily play single player
your point
games.
on that end. But still, at some point, you gotta read the room. Yeah, you gotta read. Look, you gotta avoid big games, especially when your game is not that big.
But I'm saying
sorry.
worldwide, Black Myth isn't necessarily a big game. It's regionally a big game.
Okay, I got you. I can already.
I don't know. If it's just region based.
I can already conclude. Fair play is gonna fail. Marathon is gonna fail. What
Which one?
else? Fair play and marathon. Fair play is that PlayStation supported game.
Well, I think Marathon and Horizon, I think those two have the chance to sell decent. Not saying they're going to be successful, but they're not going to be 697 peak on day one.
Did you not read Jason Schreier report?
Yeah, he's saying that the game's in development hell, but the thing is, there are people, all those Destiny 2 people, there's a lot of those people who are fans of Bungie. So when Bungie releases something, they would at least give it a shot. So
okay, studio-wise, okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna sell way better than Concord did. I'm not saying it's gonna, sell 10 million copies, but it stands more of a chance than any of the titles that you're listing other than this Horizon MMO.
So Concord with regard to Concord, is PlayStation gonna stick by it or are they gonna drop it? That's the question.
You
And
kinda
depending,
have to stick
sorry,
by it for a little bit. You gotta give it at least a
hey,
year.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean even more. And I'm not saying just stick by it, but actually improve it. Are they gonna work on improving it or not?
Well, they already gave a
Depending,
roadmap for their seasons, so they have 2 seasons already mapped out.
depending on that, we're gonna see what's gonna happen.
So, but yeah, same question I asked to Kofi. Do you see this as the PlayStation community sending a message to PlayStation in regards to Concord? Do you see it as that? Omar?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking Kofi.
No, I said the same. I
Absolutely.
said the same question that I asked Kofi.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Again, nobody asked for this.
But the game was coming out regardless. Like the
Yeah,
PlayStation Studios logo just got slapped on it.
no, but what's the thing is, if you don't know your audience, you already fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, even before the gameplay reveal, when I saw the reveal, I'm like, who asked for this?
Well, we didn't
And
know
then,
we didn't know what it was when they first revealed it. We just saw a damn jiggling cheeseburger in a spaceship.
yeah, I was like, okay, I thought, hey, if this is a single player game a la a Guardian of Galaxy, it can work. And then you see this gameplay reveal. I'm like, yep, that's a day one dead on arrival.
Okay. And you already kind of answered. You think this kind of is a signal of the demise of every other live service game that Sony is going to push out because you guys just aren't going to support it.
It for the most part, I genuinely believe PlayStation fans just don't care like that about multiplayer like that. Like,
Well, y'all care
we
about multiplayer because a lot of y'all top 10 play games are multiplayer games. Y'all are just sending a message to PlayStation that we don't want your multiplayer games.
that could be it. I never played a multiplayer beside Hellblade and Ghost, but that's just maybe just me.
Okay. All right. So
You didn't play the multiplayer in Uncharted?
No,
I heard that was good.
and
I mean, I heard.
nor did I play The Last of Us. I have always been a single player dude.
okay.
Besides the what you call it, Horizon, not Horizon, the Borderlands, and now
Helldivers, right?
yeah, Helldivers and your game,
My game?
Remnant 1 and 2.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because
baby.
you got Call of Duty over there does well. You got what other live service games do well on PlayStation?
2K.
2K, Madden. There's a bunch of
That
live service games.
Never played
like
them.
those are the
Shooters,
casual.
Genshin Impact. But
PlayStation only
Honkai
cares
Star
about
Rail.
casual stuff.
yeah,
Never played any.
but I'm just saying, like there is a multiplayer audience on PlayStation. There's people subscribing to PlayStation Plus for a reason. They're playing multiplayer games. So, but yeah, let me swing it over to let's swing it over to Jubei. I believe Jubei did play the beta. So Jubei, I'm gonna ask, did you play the beta? Because I think you did. And what are your thoughts on this game flopping this hard?
I'm not surprised.
Are you not surprised because the game isn't good, or are you just not surprised for a different set of reasons?
It's not even that the game's not good. It's the business model that they're trying to sell the game in. Like, you are launching a game into a crowded space with a bunch of free to play options with way more content already. Like, you were kind of like already fucked from the.
But you don't think that the the prospect of paying $40 for the game and then not having to worry about some of the in-game transactions associated with free-to-play games is attractive to some people?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because if it was, people would have fucking played the shit in beta when it was free. They didn't. So,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So I don't think that it's a lack of it, not being free to play, because even when it was free to play, people didn't play it.
it's just the messaging behind the game was already shit. It's like you can't really do much with that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's literally like, hey, we're gonna sell you this game that doesn't have a bunch of content in it for $40 when there's already better options with established fan bases currently on the market. It's hard to fucking do. Like, it's stupid.
I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but like, I would lean towards your line of thinking if like the Concord beta had like 200,000 people play the beta, and then you just had
But it didn't.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. It's not the price point that killed this game for sure.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because nobody on PC bought it at $40 either.
Yeah, but
sure
nobody
it's
played
not-
it. But I'm saying nobody
we had
played it
quite
when
a
it was
bit of
free.
refunds.
But I'm saying nobody played it when it was free.
We played it when it was free.
No, y'all
and a lot of
didn't.
people
2,000
refunded it.
2,000 people played it when it was free.
Look,
What if they just also didn't want to be involved with the whole, oh, you need a PlayStation account to fucking play this?
Yeah, I think that's.
it could be a continuation of that.
I think that's part of it.
But like, because like PC already said they didn't want it. The beta showed that. Any attempt to like try to save this game could have been made by just dropping that shit in PS Plus. At least then you'd have a guaranteed fucking player base. But like, fuck me, dude.
Well, you can't even say that because when it was free to PS Plus people, they didn't play it.
I guess I still just think that
this is like this is Destruction All Stars all over again.
It is, but it's the wrong game. I mean, it's the wrong time for this game. Like, this game should have came out in 2017, 2018, if we're being fucking real, and it didn't.
Okay. So
they missed the boat on a genre that already has more popular names. Nobody is checking for this game.
This is sad.
It's sad.
What's
It's sad to see.
Overwatch doing? Overwatch 2.
Overwatch just released a new season this week.
I just
actually
looked at Overwatch. They are at 39,000 concurrent players.
Yeah, but they just released a new season 3 days ago.
Okay, let's go back to June. At June, they were at 28,000 concurrent players.
Okay. I say because their player count is going to be higher right now because they just released new content this week. Or within
they
the
went
past
through
7
their
days.
tumultuous time too, though.
Yeah.
They went through a time where most of the fan base was upset.
They did. Don't get me wrong, they did. But the fact of the matter is that in reality, they still have Concord couldn't be Overwatch 2 or even come close to it, which is a problem.
I mean, not many games come close to Overwatch.
I mean,
it's a handful.
That's your competition. You can at least get like halfway there. Jesus. As a matter of fact, actually, Overwatch 2, despite all of the backlash and everything from its day one, that's Steam launch. Day one Steam launch, it always stuck around anywhere between 32,000 all the way up to like 35,000.
Okay.
It peaked at 75,000. So Overwatch 2 has been holding its own ever since the launcher switch over to Steam.
A quick question for you, if you could look it up for me, Nappy. Does Gundam Evolution have a peak concurrent on Steam?
It should. I can look it up.
Can't remember if they were on Steam.
They were the Gundam Evolution game.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it. Gundam.
Gundam Evolution, Steam, DB. I'm looking for the chart. Charts. Oh, maybe
there we go.
Maybe I clicked the wrong thing.
Hold on. I think I got it. Come on, load. There's a lot of Gundam games. Gundam. It's surrounded by all these other
There we
Gundam
go.
Evolution.
All
They
right,
were
so
founded.
its
That's
peak
playtest.
was 1.9 years ago, and it was 56,000
Wow.
according to Steam DB.
It was a good game. Okay, thank you for.
It's
He said it was a good game.
its current players right now is 2.
It died. It
Uh,
officially died.
Well, 2 people are
Yeah.
still playing it against
2
each.
people.
How could 2 people be still be playing it? They stopped.
Yeah, they like
supporting the game.
removed everything.
Well, I'm just telling you what Steam says right now. It says players
Well,
right
is that
now
the-
2.
Is that the servers? Is that like the servers that just
Yeah,
left
I don't know
on?
how they're doing that.
I don't know. Peer to peer,
That's
who knows?
Probably developers are like, this is my personal project. I love it forever.
Yeah.
They understand my.
But yeah. Were you done, Jubei, or did you have anything else to contribute to the Concord topic?
I mean, 8 years. It's sad to see, but shit's a flop. They need to stay the fuck away from multiplayer games at this point. If that's what it is, their base has already shown they don't want that shit as much as they like to lie and say they do.
All right.
It's just a shame. Like the usual suspects are playing it. I mean, if you have fun with it, go for it. But I just don't think it's gonna have any legs. It's a dead game already, man, and it sucks. It's like this shit just happened or just came out, and it's looking bleak. I don't know what they'd have to do to draw in like the amount of players needed because 600, 2,000 people is not enough to fucking keep this game going. You know what I mean?
They need
Not even close.
They need like a good make that.
They need like
They-
a good like
30,000.
3-4 million.
Now I won't say 3-4 million.
They
I'll say
need-
like maybe like 20 or 30,000.
they,
That's what.
they need
that's
10,000
what
people
Overwatch
playing the
2
game a
is in.
month. They need 10,000 people playing the game a month at least.
Yeah, that's about 1/3 of Overwatch. So that would be a good number.
Yeah. But yeah,
They just ain't ever gonna get that though.
It's not.
There's no way
unless something changes, it's not.
unless something drastic changes.
Actually, matter of fact, someone said that Overwatch gives more content. Damn, that's bad.
So
I'll let a free play game give you more content.
So, but what are your thoughts on this whole situation, Nappy? As a PC player, what are your thoughts on Concord failing, and what factors on the PC side do you think contributed to this game's failure?
Well, the one thing I have to say is, I think the little PSN account thing is a bit much for people who didn't like it. That turned people off. 2, the beta didn't really do that well, and we already have access to Overwatch 2, which is basically like offers us slightly more content than Concord did, and we have to pay $40 up front. And that's a free to play game, so it kind of it hurts. It kind of like, ooh, this was bad. Like if you're gonna come with a full $40 paid like arena battle royale, no, not battle royale, but arena type PvP game that's similar to Overwatch, like you gotta $40 up front. You gotta come up with like a cast of like at least like a good 15 to 20 like heroes or whatever. All of them. I need a backstory on every character, or like a semi backstory where I can learn about these characters.
Yeah.
Because I remember like when Overwatch 1 came out, man, there was videos on backstories of the heroes, Overwatch heroes, as they were literally like how they interact with each other. You got some of them that are acting as villains. You have some that are acting as heroes. You had some that had personal beef, like Tracer and Widowmaker had a personal beef going on. Like, I don't know. They could have done better with the marketing because the gameplay wasn't that impressive. So, and plus with all these other games on the PC market, like Black Myth Wukong, like we already got the Mecha Breaker is another arena mech game that just had their closed beta. It had a lot of pinging issues, but it was a lot of fun.
I heard that game was good.
Yeah, it was really good. The closed beta was actually great. Being in a mech suit all day, fighting against other 5 people, be able to have the
Yeah,
medium
Pharaoh,
XP
we
that
need to
has,
look into that, man. We need to look into it, and maybe we go and do that.
Yeah,
Yo.
definitely. Armor Core is a little
yeah,
too slow for me.
it's well,
Because we
it's
tried
similar. So
not Armor Core. What's the one that we did? Mech. What's the one that we did, Kofi?
Warrior.
Mech Warrior. Yeah, that was a little too slow for me.
Okay, but
It
yeah,
was cool.
but
the pacing.
Mecha Break close beta was great, and compared to that, it doesn't even hold up to Mecha Break. So yeah, PlayStation, stick to your single player, high cast, like great storytelling games, because I don't think multiplayer is it. I mean, I heard that Uncharted game was great. People want to bring that back. You got to call Fulton for that. And Bloodborne is a call following. I mean, hint, nudge, put that on PC. But yeah, it's expected. I expected to fail. I just didn't expect it to fail this badly. This is just like no more, no battle royales. We like our Madden, 2K, Call of Duty as our multiplayer games, and then everything else we want a extreme great story, high graphics, and Chinese or Asians ass cheeks as we are fighting enemies.
All right.
That game Stellar Blade apparently y'all still love.
So, I mean, I myself, I have like several different branches of thoughts regarding the failure of this title. One, I do think that the PlayStation community just decided that we're just not going to support this game. I feel like had this game released on PlayStation, even if it was a PlayStation exclusive, PlayStation PC exclusive, but it didn't have the PlayStation Studios banner on it, I think it would do better than what it's doing right now. I just do. I think that the community at PlayStation is saying we didn't want this game, as like Omar said, and as Kofi kind of alluded to. I think that is a big part of this game's failure. I think that Sony has been a little bit tone deaf with their live service push, because the PlayStation community has says, yes, if you're gonna do live service, at least give us the games that we want. So give us a new Killzone, give us a Resistance or a SOCOM, give us the games we want. And there has been an unwillingness to do that, and they want to give you Marathon and Fair Games and Concord, and they're giving you a bunch of games that the PlayStation community isn't necessarily asking for. And I feel like the PlayStation community is not necessarily loyal to PlayStation in a way that they're just gonna stick to whatever new IP you throw at them. It has to be one in the wheelhouse of what you're good at making. Like, so what the PlayStation community expects from you. So like if you make a new IP like Ghost of Tsushima, it hit the marks of everything a PlayStation fan would want in a new game from PlayStation. You know, same thing with Days Gone. It hit the marks of what PlayStation fans would want from a PlayStation title. Whereas these particular titles, Concord and the titles that are following it, don't hit any of those marks. And I think that is what is kind of killing this game. And I think also what killed the game was their initial revealed gameplay trailer. They had like a 5 or 7 minute cinematic, and it felt like you got more cinematic than you got gameplay, and the gameplay didn't necessarily look great. And I think that's really what ultimately is killing this game. I really think that the PlayStation community is telling you that they don't want something, and they're just not going to support it. And I just don't think they're going to support future titles as well. If anybody has any type of pushback or any questions for me, feel free.
I just feel like, what are they doing to innovate in this space? The answer is charging $40. Like,
Damn.
that's not the answer that people want.
Well,
You know what I mean?
PlayStation don't believe in free to play. And the last game that they
don't.
gave people free to play, they didn't support. So they gave you Destruction All Stars, which initially was available for pre-order for $70. And they gave it to you. They took it off of pre-order. And they gave it to you free to play inside your PlayStation Plus. And no one supported it. So I think they just said, we're not going to do the free to play thing, because even when we did free to play, nobody supported it. So I think that's kind of where that mindset came. I think if Destruction All Stars had been successful, they would be willing to do free to play. But they tried it and it didn't quite work out for them.
Mommy, I mean Daddy.
I don't know. All I know is I was called crazy when I said this shit was a flop.
Wait,
Like
who called you
not this game
crazy?
in particular. Not this game in particular. When this live service shit first came out, it was literally like, this shit is either not coming out or this shit's gonna be terrible. And that has proven correct. They cancel shit, and the shit that has come out has been fucking terrible.
Yeah. You actually know what they should do is PlayStation should probably try to make co-op like story-based games. I think they'll do very good at that.
You think?
Well,
I mean, imagine if Amazing Spider-Man like 3, but this time you have 2 players between Miles and Peter. That actually will be like really good.
well, what PlayStation has to do, if they really want to do this live service thing, they have to be willing to abandon their current fan base to find a new fan base also. Like, they have to be willing, they got to be willing to be like, you know, we don't necessarily care about our current fans. We need to be able to attach ourselves to Call of Duty fans, to Apex fans, to, you know, whatever type of game they're trying to make. They need to find a way to connect themselves to those type of fans.
What's crazy? If Concord was named SOCOM, it would have been fine.
I agree.
Their own fault.
Oh my
Their own fucking fault.
No, so I don't want SOCOM to be a battle royale. I don't want
I
SOCOM to be
don't wanna
SOCOM.
I don't want it to be that either, but I'm just saying, like, if they released a SOCOM game,
Yeah.
Yeah, like a SOCOM, like oh my god, like a SOCOM with a similar gameplay to Battlefield, but it's SOCOM. Oh
Bro.
my god!
And the whole thing
Go
behind
back
this,
to SOCOM 2 and SOCOM combined assault.
the whole thing
multiplayer
behind this
online?
particular studio is that they're former Call of Duty devs, so it's not like they're not capable of making a quote unquote SOCOM style game. But they wanted to follow that trend. I think they left Activision and stuff like that, and they just were, you know, trying to get rich quick and follow the Overwatch craze that it was at the time, because Overwatch was like the first game of that type to like ever win like a Game of the Year award. So
my question is, why wouldn't you have Bungie make a SOCOM game? Like, their shooting, they are known for their shooting. You know what I mean? Like,
Are they going to try to save Destiny 2?
Destiny's done.
the
Final
shooting
Shape.
in Destiny is good.
No, I'm saying, but Destiny 2 kind of player base fell drastically.
Because it's done. They told you they released Final Shape. There's nothing for them to continue playing it for. That's what happened to the game. I mean, I think that was kind of a bad decision. Like, you can finish Final Shape but still provide, you know, some type of updates to that world to kind of keep people in it. But no, it's like, we're done with this. So people left. Oh.
They did leave.
Yep.
It's like, you got a dead game, bro. What can you do?
I just, you know, I really think this is a shame because PlayStation has invested so much money into this live service push, and I don't know how many of these flops you can survive when you factor in acquisition costs and all these other things. Not saying PlayStation's not going to be around in the near future or anything like that, but it's just like, how many of these blows can you take before it changes the type of company you are. Like, for instance, Square Enix, we saw what they went through the past 5-6 years, where they released flop after flop after flop. And yes, Square Enix is still here, but half their damn company is gone. You know, they sold off the whole Western. They even closed some Japanese studios down. The studio that did Forspoken, they closed them down. Like, how many of these flops can you have
What is
and still
question?
be? So I
What
am.
is Square Enix running on? But they don't even know what to do with their own IPs. Like, Square Enix is in a terrible shape
Yeah,
as
but
well.
PlayStation is kind of in that same kind of mode right now. That, you know, because they invested so heavily into this live service, just like Square Enix invested so heavily into the Western.
Western.
It's kind of the
but also
same
because
parallel.
they thought with Final Fantasy 16 they're gonna get way more audience because of its action base, and that didn't turn out well for them, didn't it?
Well,
They are also out of touch when it comes to this. It's not just the live server. Like, you know me, I'm absolutely not a fan of a live server.
I'm not making it just a live service thing, but in Sony's instance, it's a live service thing. But I'm not saying that it's a live service thing for Square, because Square actually has a couple successful live service games.
But for Square, it's live service with Foamstar flopped.
Yeah, but
Foamstar died worse than Concord, I would say.
I would probably agree with you there, but the difference is I don't think Foam Stars had the type of budget that Concord did. Like, Foam Stars felt very, I don't know about you guys, but that thing felt very AA-ish to me.
I never played Foamstar.
I don't want to hear about budget when Splatoon exists and is a better game, and we know what Nintendo's budget for that game was.
Yes. I'm about to say Nintendo is their fan base has a lower expectation.
But I'm saying I would think Foam Stars had a similar budget to Splatoon.
They ate fucking Pokemon up when it came in such a broken mess that I genuinely thought people, I'm not gonna buy it, but nope, it became the biggest sales.
What's good, 108? But yeah, I just, the whole point that I'm getting at is that
for Square Enix, it's a double whammy. It's the live service, but it's also them as a company not knowing which direction to take.
Yeah, but
in my opinion, they just should stick to Japan, and focus on their own heritage.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make this particularly about Square. I'm just using Square as an example.
I got you. Yeah.
Because I feel like Sony's kind of in that same place when they made this dive into live service, and it's just, and they not only made the dive into live service, they made the dive into VR also, and it's just like, how many losses can you take before it changes how you look as a company? I mean, I still think they're going to be around for sure.
For PlayStation, it's going to be if they lose the single player route. If they lose that, then it's over.
Well, I don't think they're going to lose. Well, the thing is that they need the live service because the single player is so the single player is so expensive, and it doesn't. It's a one and done point of sale. There's no continuing sales after that. Versus a multiplayer, you're able to have reoccurring revenue on a specific title long term.
Then it's going to be Concord. Concord is going to make or break it. So if they can stick with Concord and blossom it, it's over for them.
I don't think they can do that, but what I do think that they can do, if they have the stomach and the money for it, is to release these next set of games, this marathon, whatever, MMO, Horizon MMO, Fair Games, and whatever else is coming. Get those out. If one succeeds, It's probably would be the Horizon one if any of them succeed. And then from there, if you got the stomach for it, go back and make SOCOM and Resistance and Killzone.
We don't know why they're not making Killzone and stuff like
Well,
that.
they purchased studios that
because
were
they're
already
scared.
in.
No, not
They purchased
Killzone.
studios that were already in mid development. So
SOCOM.
well, you're not gonna purchase Firewalk, who's already 6 years into development on Concord, and say scrap that and make SOCOM. You're gonna let them finish their 2 years out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you want your return on investment as soon as possible. So
Yeah, it's a crapshoot on PlayStation, and they need to figure something out very quick because they can't keep making the same mistake. Well, not mistake. Mistake is one thing, but this is costing them money and big time.
oh yeah,
But
definitely,
on
and
other
it's
hand,
definitely a mistake. It's definitely a mistake.
but on the other hand, we thought something gonna be a mistake and turn out to be a big hit, which is the PlayStation Portable. So you never know with these companies.
It is relative. I mean, do we have an updated sales figure as opposed from?
Apparently, Portable is selling very well, and PlayStation is monitoring it.
I haven't seen a sales update since its launch. I know it launched and sold well at launch, but I haven't heard that it's.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do we know past its initial sales that it's still coming off the shelves? Because I haven't heard anything about it. But yeah, I think we hit this Concord topic on the head. We could.
So here, the PlayStation Portal was the best-selling accessory in dollar sales for both May.
No
and
shit.
Yeah, that's when it launched.
It's $200.
That's when it launched,
no
right?
shit.
When did it launch?
Yeah, but a sale is a sale, don't you think?
But I'm saying, when did it launch? It launched in May, right? That's when it launched. Or did it launch in the holiday season? I'm not
sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna sell well its initial launch, but I'm saying, is it continuing to sell? Because if you're not having continuing sales, it's not.
No,
really
no. So no, this portal sold launched. So here, apparently this launched 8 months ago.
Yeah, but if at $200 a pop, of course it's going to be higher in dollar
It
sales.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the price is.
It's an accessory. That means it's competition is controllers, bro. It's competitions are controllers.
If what you release is dog shit, it's not gonna sell well. It's that simple.
Well, if you're just counting, if you're counting dollar sales, it's not dollar sales isn't units. So I get what he's saying. So a portal,
one sale of those
is $200.
Is like 3 controllers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So if you're not counting units, you're just counting dollar sales. It's kind of like for every 3 controllers, we sell 1 portal. So basically, But
yeah, anyone have anything else to say about this topic? This whole live service situation.
Sony needs to figure it out, otherwise this is going to be a bunch of sunk costs.
Yeah, Concord is about to be one of the biggest.
Concord is not making its money back. It is not going to make its money back. Sorry.
Yeah,
they're going to have to pull out a Hail Mary and have PlayStation fucking heroes in this game.
They need to start bringing Kratos and
right.
Oh my god, man! They're gonna have to bring up all the PlayStation IPs. I'm talking about from years ago.
Gonna have Parappa the Rapper in there, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say Parappa the Rapper. Start bringing back Jack and Dexter in there. called
You gotta
slap
put you
don't
gotta
get me
you gotta put
started.
Ratchet and Clank in there. Like there's
did,
there's so much
did
they
you
could have did with
guys,
it. They could have made a
did you,
PlayStation hero shooter and they did not. It's kind of sad. They
did,
that was looking them in the face.
I
did
wonder if
you
we could do
guys
Crash
hear,
Bandicoot. Oh, sorry. What'd you
go
say,
ahead.
Omar? No, I was just making jokes about it. But what'd you say, Omar?
Okay, so did you guys hear what happened to Crash 5?
No.
No, not in particular, not in specific.
This,
I know that
this,
Toys for Bob is supposed to be, I think, doing Spiral right now.
no, this is the painful one. Apparently they were in concept art phase of making a combined game between Spyro the Dragon and Crash,
Oh,
and that shit got cancelled.
well, they're making a game for Xbox right now though, and
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure it's one of those
no,
IPs.
it's not. It's neither. It's something I think multiplayer-esque, if I remember correctly.
Toys for Bob
Because
doesn't really do multiplayer.
they were making a multiplayer game. They had a
Oh,
big idea, and that shit got cancelled.
we'll
The
see.
one that they showed, the one that they revealed was a watered down version
Well, they
of what
haven't.
they
Toys for Bob
actually
hasn't revealed a
wanted.
game in a long time.
No, they did. Remember when they revealed that Crash Rumble?
How long? That's what I'm saying. That's a long time. Crash Rumble came out years ago. That's what I'm saying. They haven't revealed anything in a long time.
Yeah, but I'm strictly talking about what happened to their studio, which is tragic.
Well,
Because I
they're
was
independent now, and they're making and they have a yeah they have a well Crash Rumble came out last year. Okay.
yeah, they were literally in an idea to make what you call it a Crash Spyro collab, and that shit got cancelled.
Well,
Rip.
we don't know for sure. We just know they're making a game for Xbox currently.
And that can still happen. Honestly, Toys for Bob needs to make that Xbox version of Smash. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, we just gonna have to wait and
Or
see.
make
Probably
make a
another.
party game.
It's
Like
probably
they
gonna
need to
be
make a
like
party game. Like
another.
they need something that people actually want to play.
Probably what, another 2 years before we see, at minimum, at another 2 years before we see anything Toys for Bob is working on. 2, maybe 3.
I'm not sure I can confirm.
But yeah, let's get into our final topic of today, which is Black Myth. I know we kind of been talking around it this entire show, but it is the elephant in the room, as it is one of the most successful games to ever launch. It is the highest concurrent Steam game that's a single player game ever. And
Yep.
it hit 10 million in sales in its first week.
3 days, not even a full week.
Yeah. Tonight will be its full week because it went live while we were on the show. And it was kind of funny because we were talking about how they were telling streamers what they could and couldn't say, and I was like, oh, that's pretty bold of them, considering whether they don't know how good their game is gonna do. They had them pre-order numbers. They knew they had a hit. So it had me sounding foolish for sure. But yeah, this game is doing amazingly well. Despite a lot of reports of the game being very brute fortish. Oh man,
Force-ish.
Yeah. Force-ish. Yeah, my tongue is just all jacked up. This cold is messing with me. Yeah, so the game is suffering some performance issues in some parts. But despite that, the people of China and the rest of the world are buying and loving this particular game. Great. it is great to see a new IP get this type of success, and them kind of knowing what audience they needed to cater to when they were making this particular title. That said, I'm gonna kind of pass this off to the panel, kind of get their thoughts. I'm gonna kick it off with Nappy, being that he is a person who purchased this on PC, so he's playing optimal version of this game, and
Got some gameplay to show for you guys too.
yeah, I got it up on screen. So yeah, what are your thoughts of the game and the success that you've seen? What are your impressions playing it?
Well, all I have to say is the success is actually well deserved. So the game is 118 gigabytes, which I was like, damn, this is a big ass game for a single player game. And I was worried about the game not being optimized, but I don't know about the performance issues on console, but on PC, this game is surprisingly optimized very well. So I was actually able to play this game on my GTX 1060, turning all the frame generators off, so it was just running natively off the 1060, and I was able to play it at low settings, 30 FPS on 1080p, like no problem with very very few dips.
How far are you into the game?
I am still in the second act. I'm about to get into the third pretty soon. So
yeah, I heard that the final 2 acts are where the performance kind of has its major dips on PC.
I still fucking 90 struggling.
What 4K?
Well, the person I was listening to Fonzarelli, he's playing on a 4090, and he said he was fine up until he got to the final two acts is when he started to have like performance dips.
Probably when the big acts and stuff, with the cloud surfing and all that stuff.
Yeah, so
but I don't know. I mean, right now the game is running very well. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
it looks good.
I actually think the game is really fun. I despite all the craziness that's going on with the whole controversy with Sweet Baby Inc. and all the other negative PR this company and this game has gotten, I think this is a very well polished game, and I think everyone should play it, because if you like Souls-like games, you will love this game. Now, it's not as hard as like a Souls-like game, but in a way, it plays like very similar to a Souls-like game, but has more of a Devil May Cry feel to it.
So I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Because regarding to our topics regarding the pertaining to the game last week, as far as this Screen Rant's lack of diversity, are there people in this game?
So I heard about the diversity crap.
Are there actual humans? Have you seen any?
There is like not many, unless they're like demigods. Everyone else is like a monkey, a wolf,
okay,
a gator.
That's what I figured.
A bunny. I'm like, the whole diversity thing was confusing, because it's like, it is a game about a mystical monkey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if you actually watch, like, there was like a movie with Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of that movie.
Yeah, because you weren't here last week, but when we talked about it, I was like, I doubt that there's actual people in this game just based on what I've seen.
There are humans, but it's not a lot of them. They're like, if there is a human, it's a god.
Okay.
Everything else is like a monkey.
I would consider a god a human. That's what I'm saying. Like, if there's not,
yeah, but it's just that whole oh, we need more diversity. I'm like, what do you want? Do you want like what more do you want? I mean, it's a game about a monkey, so I don't think the diversity should be enforced into a game, especially this is a Chinese folk story.
Oh yeah, we're all on board. We're all on board with that. I was just confirming, some of the things that we said last week based on your gameplay.
Oh, okay, yeah. The game, yeah. So far, there's like very little humans. You're playing as a monkey.
Okay, that's basically what we were saying last week. So.
That whole controversy thing, and that one writer writing about there's not enough inclusion. We need more female-based characters. It's just like, it's a game about a monkey. I don't care.
We're all on the same page, man.
We're on the same page there. So I'm not gonna give that too much Sweet Baby and crap a bunch of stuff, because that's just stupid. But overall, The game is great. It actually runs great on PC. My friend actually tried this on the GTX 970 and was able to play it. Now the 970, he was having slight struggles, but then he turned on AMD Fidelity, and that gave him that smooth 30 FPS. It looked a little rugged, though, I'll have to admit. But overall, yeah, this Wukong game, I like it. I think if it released around the summertime or in springtime, where people had more time to go through the whole story and all the hidden content, which is apparently it's a lot, this could possibly possibly a game of the year nominee. But
it's gonna be a game of the year nominee. It's gonna make it.
But it released in August. That's the thing, though. So it's like
it'll still get there. I mean, what was it? What was that game last year? Alan Wake 2 released in October, and it made Game of the Year It was Game of the Year nominated. So August.
Okay, then. Well, I mean, I could definitely see this game being a Game of the Year nominee. It's really good. A single player based game. It is kind of like a Souls game, but with like Devil May Cry inputs.
Okay,
is the best way to describe it. I do like all the weapons you can use. I do like this one flaming guy with the flaming staff sword thing. Once you kill him, you can actually transform into him and use his staff, which is pretty cool. It's just a really good game to play.
Okay.
And I do highly recommend it, so I enjoy it.
All right. I really don't have any questions outside of what I asked earlier, so I'm gonna toss this over. I know someone who said they were gonna buy it is Kofi. So Kofi, did you get a chance to purchase said title? And what are your thoughts on its success and everything you've seen regarding it this past week?
I have not purchased it just yet. That's because I'm waiting for my import to arrive, and I'm supposed to be diving into that. But I'm really I'm really happy with the sales. Like you said, we always talk about new IPs being in the more expensive space, AAA. We want them to come out and kind of punch the entire industry, try to pull the industry in a unique direction. Kind of like I kind of think of what what From Software has done kind of over the last decade. I feel like that Demon Souls really made an impact, and now we see so many genres kind of have a similar kind of approach the enemy, combat style. I think we see little inklings of it in Stellar Blade, and I think Wukong kind of has a little bit of that spirit. But Wukong also is its own baby. I kind of think of them having their own, like Nappy was saying, having Devil May Cry inputs makes me think about their uniqueness, kind of like how Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja took Neo and broke it away from Software. At least that's how I see it. So it's very healthy. And of course, seeing some of the reactions with performance, I've seen some people make some claims, but I just haven't looked at them. It's just because I'm so ingrained in the games I'm playing right now, so I haven't really looked at like what the media has said. But I kind of look at that as a positive, because when I do play Wukong, it really won't be with any biases or any information I've taken in on the technicals. I'll just be able to kind of look at the experience raw, just based on my experience, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I can pick it up for too far into September. Once Trails comes out, I think it's the last day of September. A bunch of other stuff's going to get dropped. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Omar, did you get a chance to purchase Black Myth Wukong? And if you did, what are your thoughts on it? And what are your thoughts on the success of the game?
No, I have yet to play it. But for my two co-hosts that did play it, they enjoyed it. They're loving it, actually.
Okay. I mean,
I am looking for. I want to buy it, but I bought controller,
the
because
Astrobot controller?
Yeah, the Astrobot controller, because mine is drift.
You got stick drift? Oh
Yeah,
man.
the joint drift. Yeah, my left bumper, left
Your bumper
analog.
got oh, you left
My left
analog. I'm about to
analog
say
keep going left.
if your trigger or L2 had drift, then you're pretty much done.
No.
Unfortunately.
Luckily, it's just my analog. which it happens from time to time. If I touch my analog a little bit, I pressed a little bit hard on it, it goes left. But besides that, I was able, mostly it's in menus. But in actual gameplay so far, I'm surviving.
Okay.
But yeah, that's but I am excited for the game though.
All right. Cool. Now, I know someone who is definitely interested in playing this game. Jubei, it skipped your platform of preference.
It did.
It's delayed. It's just delayed. They're working out some kinks. Calm
Yeah.
down.
It's delayed indefinitely.
I don't think
Just like
they.
Baldur's Gate was.
I don't think
Hey, that's
indefinitely was the
delayed
language. I don't think indefinitely was the language that they used. They're just.
It was.
Oh, it was.
It was.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the game's out now.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it skipped you. So how you feeling, Jubei, about it skipping you? You seeing the rest of the world have fun with this game? Are you gonna try the GeForce Now on Xbox?
I can figure it out. Yeah.
Tactic. So yeah, well, give us your rundown on Black Myth so far, of what you've seen and the sales success and you know, kind of the Xbox perspective.
I think it's incredible. As far as like just from a sales perspective, like
10
it
million
came
in a
out,
week
like
ain't
it did
nothing to sniff
numbers.
at. Yeah,
It's not, and
that's
we was
GTA.
talking
That's
about it, like,
GTA numbers.
yeah, we was talking about like this shit's about to do numbers, B. Like we knew this shit was gonna do numbers. I think the biggest thing is like it sucks that Xbox is missing a big ass release again and like can't capitalize at all from anything to do with it because the shit's just not out. Like it's unfortunate. If it's a certification thing, like that's something like I'd rather, yes, do I want the game to be playable, but it's like there's a memory leak issue or some shit with it, so
Yeah, I mean
that's on
the Chinese developers did said that like they usually don't make games for Xbox,
yeah.
so they don't have like the Xbox X on their China. Apparently, it's all PlayStation 5s there.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll figure that out. It's just disappointing that I have to like wait to play this game because I'm not going to subject myself to that PlayStation performance. That's not great, and I don't have a PC really strong enough to run it how I want to play it. So
Are you going to play Avowed on 30 FPS?
sure am.
I'm gonna say, this game running at 30 FPS is not the worst thing.
Yeah, and it's not about it being low. It's the drops and the stuttering. Like I don't want to deal with that. So,
I get you.
The console port, even in performance mode, is not good.
So I say like RPGs in 30 frames per second isn't necessarily a horrible thing. Like play Final Fantasy Remake at 30 frames per second, never complained.
Yeah.
Played it at 60, didn't really feel a lot different other than when I was traversing through the city, but when I was doing the battles, it didn't feel tremendously different.
I actually disagree. I felt like 60 for Rebirth is pretty critical.
No, I'm thinking about Remake. When I played Remake at 30,
Remake.
yeah, when I played Remake,
Okay.
I played it originally at 30, and then I played it when Integrate came out. I played it at 60. It wasn't a big difference for me. Is like the only I felt the 60.
I can kind of understand where you're coming.
I felt the 60 outside of combat more than I felt it in combat. Man. But yeah. Any other thoughts, Jubei?
I hope it continues to sell well. I hope that they iron out these console kinks that they have with it. Congrats to them for their first game being a massive hit so far.
Now, I'm not familiar with Journey to the West, which is what this.
Yes, you are. If you've watched Dragon Ball at all, you are familiar with Journey to the West, my friend.
No, but I'm
It's
saying
not. It's not an exact one-to-one though.
Yes, I'm saying I'm not.
I know, but like I'm saying familiar. I didn't say that you know the story. I said you're familiar with it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, for this particular title, like after this title, is there room for a sequel, or is this kind of like a one and done type thing when it comes to Black Myth Wukong? Do you guys know?
So they've already said that Black Myth is supposed to be like this umbrella label because they want to do other myths.
But I'm saying, like, this particular
like,
Monkey King, does he have an opportunity?
I don't think we're gonna get a sequel. I don't think we're gonna get a sequel to this. I think the next thing is gonna be something else.
Yeah. Okay. The rest of Chinese mythology.
I'm cool with that. I'm just kind of curious, because as far as from an American perspective, we might not attach ourselves to the next one the same way that we attach ourselves to this one if it's not a direct sequel. So that's why I'm kind of asking. I think from what we've seen, the Chinese audience is gonna rock out with whatever they make at this point, especially if it's at this caliber. So I was just curious, like from our perspective, are we gonna get him again, or are we gonna have to learn a different character next time they make a game?
I think it's gonna be a different character. So just what it is.
That'll be interesting.
I mean, they got dragons. They got the Chinese peacock. There's like a bunch of different Chinese stories out there.
Oh, I'm sure. We have we talked about at length about going to different parts of the world and making games based on their stories because we got we're tired of seeing like all this like Greek, Roman, European. At some point you kind of hit the same story over and over again too many times when there's so many other rich stories out and available to
I want a Kung Fu Panda. I want Kung Fu Panda multiplayer that plays similar to this.
Kung Fu Panda?
I'm pretty sure there is
a that plays similar to this.
I'm pretty sure there's a Kung Fu Panda game. It's probably for children. It might even be on your mobile device. Sure it exists.
No, I said to plays like this.
Well, you're not. Well, Kung Fu Panda's not getting this type of budget. Nobody's spending that type of budget on Kung Fu Panda.
I just saying it would be cool.
Remember, this game had 8 years development time?
Yeah. Well, this was a ground up engine, so they did it for their first time using this engine for a game like this. Their in-house engine is pretty impressive. The fact of how optimized it is.
Let's see. So there is Kung Fu Panda Legendary Warriors on the Wii and DS. Came out in 2008.
Does it look like I'm going to play it on the Wii?
Well, you are a PC player, and you have shown your resourcefulness and being able to access titles that are near and dear to your heart. Okay. That's all I'll say. So we can leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about Black Myth two weeks in a row. Obviously, it's I won't say it's a mistake on Microsoft. It's just unfortunate on Microsoft's part that they weren't able to get this game day one. I don't know what steps they could have taken to assure that they got the game day one, if that was possible at all. I guess we'll find out at a later date if that was the case, if they truly it was on their part why they don't have the game. But yeah, it is a shame that it missed them. But I'm sure by at least spring it'll be on the Xbox, but by then it'll have missed that initial wave.
I give it to October. I think October because they said they're working diligently to get it on the Xbox. Like they're not playing.
I mean, Baldur's Gate didn't get there that fast. Baldur's Gate took 3 months.
Hey,
Baldur's Gate is also a bigger game as far as scope.
I hear you.
I mean, Actually, downloads. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Baldur's Gate 3 was like
I'm just
30
saying
gigabytes bigger than this.
I'm just saying I don't think a studio that took 8 years to make this game is gonna turn around and get it ported to the Xbox in a month and a half.
Well, I mean,
That's
it
pretty
kind of does suck.
fast.
I mean, I hope so because I think Xbox players deserve this game. This game is great. I mean, it does suck that they don't have access to Xboxes in China as much, which
I
is
mean,
very weird.
I think winter be realistic, but I'm leaning more
I
towards
mean,
spring.
they got all the manpower. I mean, if
Because
China is
even if
smart,
it's available, even if they could release it in the fall, why release against Call of Duty and all that other stuff? Like, why not just release in the spring when it's a little bit lighter?
because it's been proven that people will go back to play their single player games and they'll have their multiplayer games.
I hear you.
Call of Duty will not stop Wukong.
It stopped Concord apparently.
That's Concord. That's because a game like that already exists.
So
They have Overwatch 2. So
we'll see. I mean, like I said, when it comes to Xbox, I'll be there. I guess I could play it on my PC. Like I said, I'm a console peasant. I'm fake PC and MR. I do buy games here and there, but it's not my primary gaming device. But yeah. So with that said, let's go ahead, roll into our outros. I appreciate everyone for coming through today. We had a pretty good show. 36 people came through, which is pretty good for us. We'll continue to grow and get better. Working on that. Let's get into our outros and let's see. Who am I gonna start with? I'm gonna start with Jubei so he can get to the kid. Jubei, where will you be this week? Where can people find you and what will you be playing?
Yeah. You guys can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, Instagram. Come say what's up. I'm gonna be playing Suicide Squad this week.
Ooh.
I think. Yeah, that should be fun. And yeah, I can't wait to see how that turns out so I can talk about it next week.
All right.
We'll have Zero back too.
All right. Yeah, hopefully we have Zero back next week. Not sure why he missed tonight. I wasn't in the chat, so maybe you guys know something I don't. But oh yeah, Jubei bowed out quick. Omar, where can people find you, and what will you be playing this week?
You can find me at Caravan_Job on Twitter and other player podcast every Saturday, 6 p.m. at the standard time. Great show. Hit that like button, check the stream out, and see you next week. As for what I'm playing, Dragon Age Inquisition.
All right. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. No, I'm not. Kofi, where can people find you, and what will you be playing?
Guys, you can find me at creative_Kofi on Twitter/X. I will be playing a couple of games. I'll be sticking with my roguelike Astra Ascending that I think I convinced Zero to play. Astra Ascending, again, is, I think, a game for people who don't play roguelikes very much because of how well enemies telegraph. It's not an easy game, but the information that you receive from the screen, I think, is very clean, very well executed. So shout out to them. I'm also playing a Western RPG that I don't think is ever really talked about. It's called The Thaumaturge. I definitely will be talking more about it next week. So please look forward to me talking about The Thaumaturge.
Thaumaturge? Like TH?
Yep. Correct.
Okay. All right. Might check that trailer out after this. And
Thaumaturge.
Can you write it for me later on
Sure.
Twitter, please?
Absolutely.
And
thank you.
Well, last but not least, before I give my outro, Nappy, where can people find you, and what will you be playing? And the review's on the way.
Yes, I do have a review that's actually done. So I'll be playing Wukong, of course, because Wukong is such a great game. I would love to dive into it. The review is complete for the CRK Neo S controller. This is just one of the many models that you can get. I did change out the thumbsticks with this because they have detachable thumbsticks for this controller. You also saw me play. If you haven't noticed the Wukong video, this was the controller I was using because I needed to get some gameplay. It's a really fun controller. I don't think this controller really gives you much of a competitive edge towards everyone else. It's just a cool controller to have besides the 2 back buttons. Works on Nintendo Switch, PC, iOS, and Android. As far as other controllers, I did get the Fly Digi products that came in. So I have an Assassin's Creed model as Fly Digi controller. Also, I got a Wukong controller from 8-Bit Do that's coming in as well. And another 8-Bit Do controller coming in that is usually used for people with like disabilities that have a hard time using normal controllers. So I don't know how I'm going to review that controller, seeing as I have all my fingers and not having any issues. So, but I'm gonna give it a try because I think it'll be interesting for me. It's a fun project. So, but until then, you guys just keep on gaming. I'll see you guys next week. And just Yobi, thank you for sending me that controller. I actually was paying attention to that. Another controller for Xbox with a screen on it. It seems to be like this is starting to become a common thing.
There's a new one. How many are there? I know the Asus.
So Asus has one, but their screen didn't do anything. It was just for show. Turtle Beach has another one for Xbox. That one kind of had a menu. It was okay. Now Raycon is Raycon or whatever they're called.
Raycon, is that the Ray J brand?
Not Raycon. It's oh man, I can't even pronounce it. I'm tongue tied. I know it's like Raycon. It's they're a controller. They're a company that make controllers as well, and they have a new controller coming out. Mm-hmm. Recon. They're coming out with a new controller. It's like the Revolutionary X is what it's called, by the looks of it. It has a screen for it. It's supposed to be wireless for the Xbox, which is good. But I don't know if I'm going to get it because I think the screen is cool, but I don't have too many controllers with screens on them besides the Fly Digi controllers. But I'll probably take a look into it to see if I want to purchase and like review it because I'm already like a crap ton behind on controller reviews anyway. So
your thumbs are moving them sticks around.
Yeah, my thumbs are, man.
I can hear it.
Yeah, it's something.
It's all good.
But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
All right, and for your boy Pharaoh, you can find me on Twitter at PharaohBazard. And actually, I will be podcasting again tomorrow at On Point for Gamers with C Money and Doodle doing their little marathon stream. So you'll probably you can go to their YouTube channel, like, subscribe, follow, and I'll be rocking out with them between probably 8 p.m. and whatever time they end their show. They do a pretty long show. But yeah, thank you guys for coming through, getting your weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
Later.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Vitamin J, got what you need.
the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. Vitamin J.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J. Got what you need. Vitamin J. Got
All
what you need.
alone.
Vitamin J. Ayy. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this Vitamin J. Vitamin J. Vitamin J. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside